Hey, board gamers, BJ from Game Gumbo here, back with another episode of Gumbo Live. It's episode number 132, Gumbo Live, the #1 Facebook Live talk show in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, dedicated to board gaming. Our special guest tonight, it's Jeremy Howard of Man vs. Meeple, our #1 guest. He's back. He's going to be talking about games, and more spicy hot games. Plus, we're going to try to play a game with you tonight. So look forward to that. Board Game Gumbo, a proud member of Punchboard Media. Hey, check out some of our other fine members like Cardboarding with Carla. That's right. Carla Kopp, friend of the show from Weird Giraffe Games. She's a board game designer, developer, and publisher. She's got a blog. It covers all kinds of things about designing and publishing board games. So if you're a designer and you want to know more about prototyping, accessibility, how to be more productive, check that out. Also, she's got a weekly game design live chat show on Facebook Live where you can talk and discuss the topic of the week. She has all kinds of special guests. That's Cardboarding with Carla. Punchboard Media, where we all bring something to the table. Hey, a couple of quick show notes before we bring in Jeremy. Our first ever Gumbo merchandise. It's right there. You see right here on the screen. Playing cards, Gumbo playing cards designed by Carlos Roy, who did our logo. It's the Gumbo Bourrée deck, Laissez les Bourrée, with instructions on how to play this famous Cajun trick-taking game with a little bit of betting. Carlos did an awesome job with a premium deck of cards. Also, quick shout-out to our friends at Rolling Dice and Taking Names. It's their 8th anniversary. They just had their big show. And this weekend, I got to participate with Rolling Dice and Taking Names and doing the Big Strike tournament. I didn't win, but we raised $5,000 from Ravensburger for Extra Life, and from the Southern Board Game Fest, we raised $250 donated by Ravensburger to our charity, New Hope, which, as you know, provides mentoring and tutoring services to at-risk youth that are in the under-resourced communities here in Acadiana. It's an awesome charity. So thank you to Ravensburger and to Marty and Tony for making that happen. Sorry, I got kicked out in the first round, but that's all right. We had a great time with the tournament. Hit us up on social media tonight, on Twitter or on Facebook. We'll be looking for your questions in the chat crew. But enough blather. Let's get right to our special guest because we've got a lot to talk about. It's Jeremy Howard, man. Welcome back to the show.
God, dude. Hey, how's it going, brother? I'm trying to share all this stuff while we're on here.
Jeremy, I saw the list of games to talk about. We got to get going. But, before we get started, we got to let people know what's happening with Man vs. Meeple. Give us that big elevator pitch. What's going on over there?
Oh, well, we cover a lot of different games. We cover, Kickstarter previews. We review games. We do Chit Chat Live. We do all kinds of stuff across the internet. My role specifically is, I'm doing social media stuff. I'm also doing, solo coverage for the team. And
Solo Sundays.
Yes, Solo Sundays, which is currently on at 3 p.m. on Sundays on our Facebook page, but it is going to be moving to our YouTube page in 2021. So,
but be honest, Jeremy. It's midnight on a Wednesday night or a Monday night, and all of a sudden I get a Facebook Live notice that says, "Hey, let's do a solo game or something." I'm like, You're the only guy I know that will start a 2.5-hour Euro game at midnight on a Monday night. How do you do it, Jeremy?
I don't know. I'm absolutely insane, bro. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. It's not a duty of mine. It's just that I like. Sometimes I get in a mental zone and I just go I can't go to bed. I will play part of a game and then go to bed. So that's the thing. I'll play Merv. I was playing one time. I started at 11:30.
I know.
And then I realized I was I don't know. I'm not going to be able to do this. And then I did. I just did. But last night I played Warp's Edge at 11:30. And I got to the last round. I was just you know what? Time to go to bed, dude. I can't be doing this every time. So yeah,
we got to work the next day. So, hey, look, I apologize. I catch your Solo Sundays, as you know, because you and I actually played The Pursuit of Happiness one time where I was playing on my kitchen cabinet while you were playing it. These midnight sessions of Merv or the other shows, that is something that's going to be tough for me to do. But, hey, more power to you. If you haven't seen it, Chat Krewe out there, check out Solo Sundays, moving to YouTube in January. Is that right?
Moving to our YouTube page, just because we want more attendance, we want more interactiveness, and of course, with YouTube pages, you're going to get a lot of that as well, right? So that's why I'm doing it. I want to make sure everybody's getting a chance to see it, and especially we just have a big audience, and we want to take advantage of that.
Hey, so Thomas Grieve checking in. He's the first one in. The world is right again with Thomas being the first one checking in. And Chris Strain has been checking out the pictures you've been taking. He's been posting all day. So we're going to talk about those games tonight, Chris. Don't worry, we're going to get to those. Topher, if you got any questions for Jeremy, make sure you check in. Verla's going to be in with us later to play the game. So happy to see Verla and Kelly. Hopefully we can get Kelly to do something like that. And yes, Jeremy hasn't said a word yet, but I've got my gingerbread costume on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not going to even.
Where's the Santa Claus costume, man? I was expecting it.
No.
Hey, checking in from you. Speaking of YouTube, checking in from YouTube, Kevin M. Hey, thank you for checking. You got any questions for Jeremy on any of the games that we have, Kevin? Make sure you hit us today. Ahead. And it's Taco Tuesday. That's right, Patrick. I actually saw your post already, and Patrick's been playing Christmas music every single day.
Oh my God,
so that is fun to check out. Jay's going to be checking in with us later too. So Jay's going. Jay can draw, so you're going to have to watch out for him when we do that game. That's going to be fun. All right, so let's talk about some games, so Jeremy, because we got a long list to cover.
Yeah, we definitely do.
So many people were just posting on the Board Game Gumbo saying, "What does Jeremy think about this one? What does Jeremy think about this one?" I was like, "Hey, you're just gonna have to check out the show because who knows? I want to hear what you have to say." The first game, BJ from Board Game Gumbo. I've got my guest here, Jeremy from Man vs. Meeple, and we're talking about a game I got to try, and I want to hear what you think about it. Lost Ruins of Arnak. Give us the pitch.
Okay, so Lost Ruins of Arnak is part deck builder, part worker placement. You are set in this kind of like Amazonian thing, and you're going out. You're basically adventurers. You're trying to lay out your groundwork in these sites by grabbing resources, and then going and traveling out by paying resources and unveiling more of the land that is on the board. The board is gigantic. It's actually like a more vertical board, so it's not a traditional board. It's going to take up a lot of your table space. But you're also
look at the size of that thing.
I know, it's very large, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful world. By the way, it has two different sides. One's a more advanced side, and I suggest you do that right after you play the first time.
Okay.
But you also have your cards, and these cards. Well, we can talk about that first. There's a track on the bottom. That track is one of the things that you're going to be chasing after. You have like your research, and then you kind of have your journal log, and what you're going to be doing is paying resources to move those icons up the track, and you'll receive rewards along the way. And you can also gain assistance that you can use during your turn to kind of help you out with.
And that's those 3 tokens at the bottom, right? The little tiles.
Yeah. But the key is of course, it's deck building. So you have these cards, and you have cards you can play that are like fast action cards, and you have they're multi-use cards. So not only can they be used for fast actions, they can be used for full actions, but they also are used as icons for traveling as well. So yeah, there's a lot going on with that. So you have these icons you play for traveling. As you can see, the little card right there. Yeah. That card, it's on the top left of the cards. There's different types, like a plane, a card, a boat, and boots. And it basically means you can travel further out into the wilderness. And then you unveil more worker placement spots, but you also unveil these enemies from the deep. Okay. So like they kind of pop up in these locations. You have to pay resources to take them out as well. Otherwise they curse your deck, that kind of thing like that. Now, as you move out to the actual cards, once again, the cards are multiple things. You're going to have these items. The items are going to help you trigger more combos in the future. But when you buy these cards, they go right on the top of your deck. So you're going to have access to them right away. So you're kind of seeding your deck and knowing what order you're going to be seeding your deck, which is really important in this game. You may also acquire fear cards from not taking out guys, and also some effects will benefit you, but also cause you to take this fear in your deck, which is negative points. And then you have these artifact cards, which where it gets real interesting, because the artifact cards can be used right away. And then they become, like an integral part of your deck. And one of these cool little things is it's played over 5 rounds, which seems very fast. And I'll get to that in a second. But you are basically moving this like kind of, what do they call that? Like a lantern across the thing. And as the rounds go, you get more artifact cards than you do
and
item
less
cards.
of the regular cards.
Right.
Yeah.
So less of the regular cards, more of these cards, which are going to require resources to use.
It's like a staff. You can kind of see it on the screen there.
That's a staff. And I just couldn't think of the word. But there's a lot of that going on. So you have a choice of like how much you're going to go into these cards, because you're going to get access to some things. But also you want to make sure you have the right cards. And as the game goes along, you want to make sure you're traveling as much as possible. That's what this game does. It makes you choose very, very sparingly how you're going to use those workers. You only get 2. That means wherever you place, it better be important and it better be worth it. One of the big issues with the game is it's gonna feel like you can't get enough done because you don't necessarily know where to start.
That's
your
how
engine
I
in the
felt.
game. Yeah, some people really lean into the worker placement and kind of feel incomplete because of the worker placement, while others don't know how to build a deck. So they really have a hard time with knowing which cards to get and who to chase after. And then also another big piece of feedback is how fast you get up and down this chart. The
track on the right side.
The track on the right side. Like, it almost feels like if you were to just fly up that track, which you got to pay resources to do, which you also got to watch out for, but it may feel like you have to go up that to win. But I've won with just cards. I've won with just fighting the monsters and whatever the things that get revealed. You pay the resources, you get 5 points for those right away. I've done that along with not using the little totem pieces you get,
right,
and just getting all those points. So I've done that. I've done score 30 points off of that. So the track is 22, 24, 26, depending on what you get. So you have different ways of doing this. It's just not, I can see how it could be a dud either way. And really what it does is you got to understand that this game will not always be 80-point game, 100-point game. It might be 40s to 50s, just depending on how the cards come out and, how are you comboing and stacking your deck. There's not a lot of places to always get rid of cards, which is a thing, because
if you get a lot of fear cards like I did, you can't get rid of them.
Right. So you're buying all these cards and you're buying the wrong cards and you realize, man, I got to get through my deck. I don't have a chance to get through my deck. And the rounds can be longer than you want them to. So there's rounds where you're like, why is this one person going 10 cards deep and I'm not? And to be honest with you, that's honestly a get good card game. You know what I'm saying?
It comes really with experience, right?
I've been playing. I played it solo for a full week. After playing it multiplayer twice, I played it solo for a full week.
You feel like you're getting better with more plays?
Yeah. Like, I don't lose now because I just played it to death. But
I went
I had such a fun time playing that game.
I went right for the track on the right side. I was like, oh, there's so many good things. I'm just going to focus on that and forget everything else. The problem is, I think this game is all about synergy. Alex whipped our butt because Alex was doing a little bit of adventuring. How some Euros kind of really, you're better off just focusing on one thing. This one, it seems like if you do a little bit of everything and be good at one, but do a little bit of everything, you can't just forget the adventuring. You can't just forget the track. You gotta kind of do a little bit of all of it. I thought he did a better job. I do also like the way that when you're going after the monsters and you get treasure back, that it seems almost thematic. Like Alex got a rhino the first round, which allowed him to stampede further down the trail, which makes sense. They're on this Jumanji island and they grab this big giant rhino and they hold on for dear life as they start running through the jungle. So I just, it's kind of Indiana Jones-ish. It's kind of Jumanji-ish. I really think the theme comes out. Yeah, it's a Euro. Yeah, it's a little abstracted, but there, it's got some thematic elements that I enjoyed.
Yeah, I honestly, I think this game, we have this genre right now of deck building. So we have this deck-rated worker placement. And there are 3 games that came out this year. You have Dune Imperium, you have this one, and then you also had Stan's game, which is called Endless Winter, which came out. Interestingly enough, it's funny how all the designs lined up. It's almost like the year before with all the bee designs.
Sure.
So, yeah.
These came out back to back to back.
Right,
well, actually, Stan's will come out next year. But
no, honestly, Endless Winter is better than both of them. By
oh, really? Okay.
But these two games are really good.
And we're going to talk about Dune in a second. Thomas wants to know, what does it bring to the table? What's the new part? And I think you would probably say the deck and exploring.
The thing is I have a rule about this. Sometimes we have to decide sometimes that games don't have to be innovative. Like, they just have to be good at what they do. And to put worker placement and deck building is new. And because you have 2 games that access that, does not mean that it's not some thing to pass over.
Right.
Because the 3 games that I'm talking about represent different ways of doing it, so different and thematic that they don't need to fight for a space on your table. So if you have, like games like I have, you have worker placement games in your collection. I'm sure you don't have one worker placement game in your collection.
No.
If you have an area control, I'm sure you don't have area. Like you could have all three of these and you'd be getting a different experience from each one. This one feels more of like, like this one leans more on the deck building than anything, I think. So if you're really more of a fan of deck builder, that's fine. I just found the little quirks in this game really cool. The aesthetic is beautiful. Turning in these resources for, to take out the monsters that are unveiled or whatever comes out of there is pretty cool. Stacking your deck and putting a card on top right away is something that I love. Like, I love that idea. I'm buying these cards. They're going right on top of my deck. I buy this card. I can trigger it right away. There's a lot of positive feedback for what you're playing, like a feedback loop that's really good.
You do get that.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that, with your typical worker placement game, you get 2 actions, maybe a third, depending on how many workers you get, right? This one, it's that I love that style of game, like Imperial Settlers, or not Imperial Settlers, the Empires of the North, where not only do you get to put your worker out, you can also use cards to keep extending the turn and give yourself more actions. And if you're smart, comboing up those the way Alex was, where he's playing a card that helps him explore, that helps him move up the track, that gets him something else to do the next round. It just makes you feel smart when you're doing that.
Yeah. All I can tell you is even when you're playing solo, you still get that feeling of, the AI does a really good job of playing out, taking the restricted places away from you. And in a 2-player game, you already have one of the slots already taken out, all the camp slots. So you kind of have to make decisions on the fly. And they already have more decisions than you until you start buying enough cards to do it. So they make 10 decisions every round. You're not going to have 10 decisions every round. No. So it's just basically playing without you, pounding you for cards and everything. So it's a really good way to learn the game. So I give that one, I strongly give that one a recommendation with ease. I don't really worry about it. It's just really, if that's something you're interested in. If you don't like deck building, then I'm not sure this is going to change it around. Although I don't want you to think that this is, I like worker placement, therefore you buy it, because this one leans more on the deck building side.
I agree with you there. I think it's more on the deck building, but worker placement is there. Yeah. And that is Lost Ruins of Arnak from CGE. Yeah. It's out there. It's hard to find right now, but hopefully it'll be coming back into print. I can't find a copy. The first print run is sold out. The first print run was sold out, I think, before they even started selling it. I know. It's sold out right away. If you didn't catch it at Essen, you didn't get it.
Yeah, Essen, they really pretty much sold through it. I wonder if they're even going to be able to fulfill pre-orders out in the wild. So whatever.
It's hopefully not my problem. Not our problem. Right? BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guest here, Jeremy Howard from Man vs. Meeple. We're talking deck building plus games. And the next one I want to talk about is one I haven't got to play yet. So I'm curious to see what you think in comparison to, maybe another game like Lost Ruins of Arnak. Tell us about Dune Imperium from Dire Wolf Games.
So Dune Imperium is set in the Dune. It's actually based off the movie that's coming out, but also the first book, I believe.
Hey, Julie. What's up, Julie? Checking in.
Hey,
my friend Julie.
Sweet friend of mine. Beautiful human being. So anyway, this Dune game is a worker placement deck building game. The whole idea is that you are doing a combination of things. You have your worker placement where you have factions on the left side of the board. They're going to all be different. They're going to have 2 spots apiece, and they're also going to have a track that as you place workers there, you're going to get more allegiance to them and score points, and then possibly score points plus benefits. But you're going to place these cards, place your workers in these spots. And once again, this is another game with very few workers to place. You're going to have a max of 3. But yeah, you're peeling to these different, councils or whatnot. And when you do that, they're going to help you with your decks. Okay, so you have multi-use cards in this game as well. So you're going to be playing a card. It's going to go to a specific site, but it's also going to trigger an ability. But the card also has an ability that when you're done playing cards, it's going to give you some other benefits at the bottom. So you have this thing of whether you want to place all your workers or not. As you get better in the game, you may have to make the choice not to play all your cards for the benefit of being able to buy cards and also contribute to conflict. So there's a little bit at play there, but I don't want to get too in the weeds on that yet. But when you're placing out in these spots, it does have a thematic touch because there's just different factions. One's based on war, one's based on keeping water together. One's based on like sneaky stuff, so they make people get rid of their cards in their deck.
Oh, so thematic from the different houses from the books.
Right.
You
So
get
there's
some flavor from that.
Yeah. The characters also have their own abilities, so they seem like very thematic. Like some of them are better appealing to the council. Some are better, just like trading things. Some of them are better with conflict. Some of them are better when they're out and about in the sand or whatnot. So they have all these little small things that work together, and there's a real kind of feedback loop of, okay, so I get the Solaris money. I get spice. I go out on the earth and get spice. I trade it in for money, and then I turn that money into whatever I want for influence to get more troops and stuff. Okay. So there's another element. You buy these cards, and then you buy cards from different factions, and they trigger just like they would in a deck builder. So if you play like this type of card, the allegiance card, then you get to get bonuses to the other cards of the same faction. So that's a very deck buildery thing. And then you also have, after that, you have conflict. So during this game, you're placing these workers in certain spots, and they are adding these troops to your garrison and eventually your conflict. So you see where the X is in the middle? Right there. And you see where that big X is in the middle with all those?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, those bits. That's where they're going to go. You're going to be placing on spots. They allow you to grab recruit troops, and then eventually you'll push them into this middle spot where the conflict happens. And those red cards to the left of that are the conflict that's going to happen every round during the 10 rounds. And then whoever wins that, you're going to total up your battle points based on how many people are in there, plus cards that are revealed with the conflict on there. And then you're going to score points. And yeah, it's a really, really interesting play there because conflict is part of the game. So if you don't like that at all, this is not going to be your game. If you're really into worker placement, this is going to be more of a worker placement game. Okay. But like I said, there's conflict every round, and it does factor into how you're going to win this game. It is very rare. I don't even know if it's possible to dodge conflict because your cards aren't worth points. You need to move up these factions, these faction lists to get more points. They actually have some really good cards in there. They're called intrigue cards. You get it from the spy faction, and they have ones that are for like in game, end game, and like just whenever you want, like during conflicts. Okay. So they're kind of surprise cards that people don't know what you have, and you can get points at the end of the game and have more points than everybody. You could, you could have these cards and then like win a big conflict and not really be invested in it in the beginning.
But a deck builder that has no points from the actual cards, you got to use the cards to get the points.
So they're just multi-use cards. That's the thing. You got to use them to get the points. There's no points on cards. Well, there are a few cards that you purchase and they give you a point, but they're very, very expensive. So this game is not like you're not playing around with a ton of money here. You're not going to stack. You're not going to even buy a lot of cards either. Which is kind of a thing about this game. There's a lot of cards that are very enticing, but you don't always build a deck up so much because it does take a while to get it going. So the game can feel like it's not moving as fast, and there's no way that you trash the whole deck. So that trash the whole display room. So you can't do that. That unfortunately. So it just kind of makes it slower sometimes than it should be.
What's going on with these minis? What is this part for?
That's for the deluxe edition, which hasn't shipped yet. That's coming in March, I think, something like that. I can't remember what the publisher told me, but there's something like that. They were
cubes.
Yeah,
instead of cubes, you use the factions.
Cubes and these weird looking dudes. I mean, it's like this. It's not gorgeous. It is not gorgeous. It's not going to win any awards for that. It's also going to play into your "we don't need minis," play. How bad do you not want minis? Well, you got it. Okay.
Yeah. So I can play with cubes.
Well, I'm just saying, you got these boring looking workers. Fine, that's what you get. So
it's the same designer as Clank, right?
That is the same designer as Clank, which I did not know until like I was playing and somebody said, yeah, this is that same person. But it makes sense. It's Dire Wolf as well. So yeah, it makes total sense. This game I do recommend, but I want to be with caveats here. Big one is if you're a solo or 2-player, you need to know that there is a dummy player by deck. There's a deck of cards. You can use an app as well that will simulate the deck, or you can just play with a deck of cards. You're going to be unveiling them. They're going to be taking advantage of a lot of the spots that you need to be in, but it is definitely winnable. It's just that you need to know that solo and solo and 2-player do have that card system. If you're not interested in that, but if you want it more streamlined and faster, you can use the app. It's very, very, very quick. How quick those turns go, making it a lot easier for you. This game shines at 3 and 4 because it's just bloodfest in a sense. I just like that. It puts some pressure on people, makes them really interact. So it's a really interesting game.
So unlike Arnak, which had very little player interaction, other than getting to spots
just
before
racing.
Other people, right? Other than racing, which always has player interaction, but that's about it. This one sounds like you better be ready for player interaction if you're going to do it.
You are literally placing on spots that will allow you to take your garrison and put them in the combat ring, so everybody sees this pressure mounting up, and they go, "Holy crap! I'm going to have to be prepared for this conflict." So some people are like, you know what? I'm not going to play my cards. I'm going to go ahead and buy some stuff and get my garrison going, because some of the cards actually have like add to conflict at the bottom. So it's like, I need to make sure I have this, or that round, nobody wants to be part of the battle and one person clearly is going to win. It might not be worth points, but it might be worth spice. It might be worth, water, which is the most restricted resource in the game. Those fight for resources in spots it's just important.
Do you need to know the books to know to enjoy the game?
I have zero knowledge of it. So
really, oh wow, it's a great book.
I have zero knowledge, so that's really important. Somebody said, well, how can you play the game? You don't like the theme. I played the Quest for El Dorado. What do I really care? Like, I don't like the Dwellings of Eldervale. That has nothing to do with anything. I'm deciding to be in that world. There you go.
Right.
All right.
and I'm sure by the end of the game you figured out that these are factions that don't really get along and trying to control the spice on Dune. I mean, that's basically the book, right?
It's space. It's science fiction. Like, how hard is this to figure? It's like, come on.
Well, let's bring Steve up, and we're going to talk about our next game coming up here. Let's see if the name file is still around. Where you at, Steve? There he is. Hey, what's up, Steve?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, brother.
PJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guest here, Jeremy Howard, and Steve and I want to talk to you about a game that I just love. This, Steve, I don't know how you feel. I love this cover. I think this cover, maybe it's because I like the color green. This cover is I love the way this pops out, man. And this is Merv. I don't know a lot about it though, other than 11:30 post when I'm going to bed that said Jeremy Howard's about to play the game. So tell me about Merv, man.
So this game is set in
Osprey
the time.
Games?
Yeah,
no,
it's
Osprey
Games. Yeah. Osprey Games, Merchants of the Silk Road. It's by, what's his name? Fabio Lupiano, who made Kalamala and
he made
Ragusa.
Ragusa, yes.
And Venice, which is still about to ship.
Fantastic.
So basically, this game is set in Merv, which at one time was like the peak of trade or whatnot. And then the Mongols came and absolutely destroyed them and killed all these people, 500, like hundreds of thousands of people. So yeah, if I knew that, I wouldn't have played the game more than likely, but because I don't want to glorify that stuff. But what's happening in this game, is you are putting out a different random setup every game.
It's not about a 70s talk show, Jeremy.
No, I don't think. No, it's not. Yeah. So you're laying out these tiles. These tiles have actions on them, and they have spots for cues, but they also have a color ribbon on them. And what you're doing is you're placing these out randomly, so your board is different every time.
Oh, really?
Time.
So those center tiles there are going to be changed every time?
They're changed every time. Even the middle tile is double-sided.
Okay.
Now you see how the guys are lined up there right there on the side of the corners?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the guys in the corners, what they do is you're going to pick, starting on that top part, you're going to be picking like a column. So the 4 columns. And you move it out there, and then you take the action that's in that column. Then as you go around to the side, you're going to be doing the row. But what you're doing is as you place your little houses there, you are triggering other houses that are in that same column that are your color. But here's the deal. As you go around and those houses start to fill up, you can also trigger someone else's as well. Okay? Ooh. So you can basically, when you go around, you can be like, actually, I like that guy's better. So I'll do theirs. I'll activate this building and I'll activate all their colors. Now, of course, your enemy will get that as well, get a benefit as well. There's some really interesting things as well for helping other people. So you're also going to be trying to build walls and preparing for this Mongol invasion. Okay, so those little mat tiles at the top there, those little bridges that you see up there, you actually have to put those around the board to save yourself from the Mongol invasion. That's happening for the last 2 rounds. It's absolutely insane. but you get more influence there. You get more influence by preparing to save other people than you do for saving yourself. So there's that. And then on the outside, let's just take a walk on this board. It's insane. On the left side, you have the moss track where you're paying resources to go up and trigger more abilities. On the right, you're going to the market over there to in different parts of different parts in that region to pay for resources. On the outside, you have the commissary where you're going to collect cards for set collection and get bonuses for more, the more that you have. On the bottom right, you're going to go to the library and you're going to get bonuses for buying scrolls. Then at the bottom, you're going to get, at the bottom, you go to the capital and you add workers there to help basically power up your resource combos. So the more scrolls you have, you put workers in there and they multiply points by the number of those guys you have.
That's a lot of different ways to score points, man.
Then those resources I was talking about, all the way on the left, those are going to be mission cards that you put all those resources that you're gathering on to get points as well. So there's a lot of things going on here. I mean, there's a lot of things going on.
Nick wants to know, is it available now? Do you know?
Not sure.
Check with your friendly local game store to see if Merv from Osprey Games is available for you.
I may sound like one, but I'm not a rep. So
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, that one right there, there's a lot going on. So big fair warning with that. There is a two-player variant in this game, and I want to explain it to you because this is a major element of the game. Can you put the board back up there real quick?
Yep, sure.
This is really cool. This is very cool. So as you round the corner after everybody's done, the person that's furthest away from the corner gets to place themselves in that corner first in whatever slot they are. So let's say black was all the way in the back. As they rounded the corner, they would go in a third. There are these things called these camels that you get on the board where you can pay camels to help you move up the turn order. So you can kind of take advantage.
Nice.
Of dude, it's so sweet. And then that stacks up, but those camels help you do other things. But the two-player mode, I just wanted to highlight that. But in the two-player mode, you actually have to have a third AI character. But the cool part is that the first player gets to place the column or row they go in, and then the second player gets to place what action they want to put it on in that row. So you both have choice of what's going on there. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think I liked it at first, but then I was like, this takes it to another level. This could be a very intense two-player game.
Very clever.
Very intense. Because not only are you trying to figure out, you're kind of on your toes because you're thinking am I going to be able to trigger out all my powers, my thing? I don't want to set up one lane too much to help them out. And then you got the third, this third one in here. And you're like, well, how am I going to set this up where eventually I may be able to take advantage of this? Or am I going to be able to do my own chain? And you won't understand that until you see it. But you'll see it as you start rounding the bend. You'll be thinking about 2 turns ahead, in the game. And then there's the second round and the third round where you have this invasion that is coming, and you're like, I need to prepare. People, so it's a lot of stuff because they can wipe out all your stuff. And
so is it brutal like a Lorenzo where if you do not prepare, you're going to get slapped in the face?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that the Mongols are coming, and there's a little strategy to how you. How you block the corners and the sides and stuff like that. And the interesting part about this game, which I didn't even mention, there's more a morale and there's influence and there's ways those trigger as well. There's a lot going on in this game.
Seems like a lot.
But you could have a hard white going into the third round. You could have a pretty hard white. So that's the thing. It's all those things really that contribute to, just a different experience every time.
Christian wants to know he's not a fan of AI player 3s for 2 players. But is this an exception?
But I want to make sure that I emphasize that this one is very interesting because the fact is that you are really paying attention to yourself and how are you not setting up your opponent too much. But you always still have the benefit of either activating a building where that's yours so that you can activate that whole row. You can do your opponents, or you can do the AI opponents, so it's you have choice. It's just that it gets real doesn't get easy. It just doesn't get easy. The choices are different every game. The only disadvantage to this is that if you lay it out randomly and there's a whole bunch of the same colors in the same row, or a whole bunch of the same actions in the same row, you might want to house rule it where you can say there's no more than 2 in the same row, because it ends up being it just makes the board state weird. But I had to let you know that the solo is good. It's just a little bit more complicated because you're going to have the same 2-player AI going, and then you're going to have another AI going. So
we'll leave you to discover the solo rules on your own.
You better not.
Yeah, there was some question in there earlier on saying this looks very pretty, but I can't remember if it was Dean or somebody else who said the board also looks very busy.
Okay, so
does it help you with gameplay, or does it get in the way of gameplay?
No, it doesn't get in the way.
Okay.
So Tool, he walks the line. Okay,
he does.
He walks the line.
Very close.
But the thing about it with his designs I've always found it easy to find out where his stuff is, because he makes big, bold icons. So it's like, if this is that section, it's big, and he has those on there. If you're looking at the board, you'll notice where all the actions are. And they're very well laid out. Like it actually has a big icon, and then it has what the action benefit is right under it. It's so well done. So like if you look at the top right, you see those camels up at the top right. If you look just below that, you'll see the little market bowls right there. If you look above these, it's just big. You can't miss it. And the icons on the icons on the tiles are busy, but they're very distinguished. It's just that it comes together to make this tapestry looking thing that may be too much.
Okay.
I'm impressed. It looks chunky. It does look a little brain burnery, but I like what I'm seeing. I like those kind of layouts. I'm hearing sort of a Trajanist thing where there's a lot of ways to score points, and some of them interact. Yeah.
Interestingly enough, there's no one way to win this game.
Yeah. Okay.
What happens is the bottom part of the game, there's an interesting restriction to it where you're going to have to pay for your stuff to score at the end of the round. So the workers that start out, there's none in the beginning at the bottom right there in the middle of the bottom. So as you can see, and then what you're doing is paying the resources that you get to put your little guys in there. And then it'll say, hey, like for how many of those guys I have, I multiply that times the number of cards I have. How many scrolls I have times the multiplier of those guys that I have down there. How many cards do I have? Like that kind of stuff. Or how far I'm up the track times how many guys I have in that section. So you have these like choices that you have, but the players are going to change that because it gets harder and harder to fill up those slots as the game goes along. And you kind of got to decide at some point in the game and say, hey, like I'm really going to invest in this and that. And I have to be better at that than my opponent, So yeah, it's just there's just a lot of choices in there. I liked it. I was a little lukewarm on this game, and then I became a lot more excited about it with more plays, because you're going to see when you play it the first time, you might get it or not, but then when you play it the second time, you'll understand how it works. But you're going to have to change how you play it based on the layout of the tiles and also how people start to play out the game in round one. So I mean,
I know you got excited, but as excited as the Gumbo Bread Man, I mean, are you that excited?
Oh my God, man. I'm not that excited.
Are you that excited?
I don't even know what to say about you right now. I look at you different. How about
the
that?
Gumbo Bread Man. Gumbo Bread Man. So that's Merv from Osprey Games. I'm going to tell you, I'm excited, but this is one.
Like a hype man for, you know what? I sound like a hype man for this game because I did not like it when I first played it, honestly.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And I really changed my tune. That was another one I played for a week. So.
I'm a little nervous when Kevin says that the solo mode recommends having a friend or two help manage all the systems. It's almost like having a PS2 there.
The thing is that the AI, the actual AI opponent, has rules for it what it does for the second player thing that we were talking about, and then it has its own rules. So it's a lot of if thens. Mm-hmm. It's tough. It's tough to grasp. I usually have the book open when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's something down the line that like a BGG user will just have like a nice little card you can make and just kind of go through it, because it is worth your time. It definitely gives you a really good challenge. But if you like crunchy, like medium weight Euros, like this is the Euros person Euro. Like
sure. Euro the Euro game.
Yeah, it
Jeremy,
is
you would agree
good.
with me. Fabio Lopiano. This is a name that the chat crew needs to remember between between Ragusa and this one and Venice. I mean, every one of these designs is different, and these are getting me excited, man. These are getting me excited.
You know, whether you like his stuff or not, you can tell that his designs are going somewhere. I'm really big on that. Like, where is this designer going? Are they learning? Are they evolving? And he's definitely evolving. I can see it in his design work. So I'm kind of going along with that ride for him. Good, bad, or ugly. We'll see.
Steve, I'm going to bring in Verla because I want to talk a couple of games with her. So I'm sending you back down. Where's Verla here? Because I want to have. Well, actually, I pressed the wrong button. Let me get him down there. There he is. Hey, Verla, this is. So I'm not the only one. It's the Gumbo Bread Man.
Oh, my goodness.
And we also have his helper, right?
Sure
Santa Claus, almost. A little bit. Jeremy, where is your hat?
Mrs.
Where is your
Claus?
hat, man?
I left. Oh, here you go. There you go.
Let's see.
Was it in the show notes, BJ?
I know.
might
I
have been our
told him. There he is. He's got the fuzzball. I appreciate it.
That's my mic.
Okay.
The chat crew's having fun with our outfits.
Oh, my God.
Bert, I wanted to bring you up for this one because this is one I can't remember if you and I talked about it or not, but I haven't played it yet. It's from Panasaurus Games. BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guest here, Jeremy Howard. We're talking spicy hot games here on Christmas week on the Gumbo. It's the Gumbo Extravaganza. Verla and I are curious about a game that you've played that I haven't played, unless Verla's played it. Gods Love Dinosaurs from Panasaurus Games.
haven't.
Okay, so this
Tell us about it, Jeremy.
I've
So
heard
this
good
is
things.
a
So
game
I'm super
where
excited.
it's a tile laying game. You're going to be drafting, I guess, too.
I like it already.
So these tiles are going to go on here. You're going to basically be taking tiles from here that have a specific type of land on it and also an animal. So you have your prey, and then you have your predators, and then you have a dinosaur. And at the bottom of that board is a dinosaur, a T-Rex under it. You're going to be starting out with this habitat, and then you'll start adding things to it like this, and then they start multiplying. So as you trigger these rows, they start multiplying and adding more bunnies and more rats and things like that to move around. But you also have these predators, the saber-tooth and the pterodactyl-ish looking thing. And what'll happen is as they go along, as you activate these columns, the prey will get eaten by the predators. These meeples are so cute. It's freaking ridiculous. There's like a tiger and you go across, and as you go across and eat the prey, you start to multiply the predators. Okay, so the predators have to have something to eat so that they can multiply and make more predators. But then when it all lines up and the dinosaur is under there, the dinosaur at the bottom, you see that little black dinosaur at the bottom in the corner?
Sure.
Then it activates, and the dinosaurs come from the middle of your little nest here, and their goal is to eat to survive, but they need to eat the prey so that they can lay eggs, and you score points from the eggs. So here we go. Here we go. I'll walk you through it again. Drafting tiles, taking the prey, triggering the prey when it comes time to, when you pull from these rows, triggering the prey so that all of a sudden now you can multiply more of them. All right. Then you have triggering the predators so they can go around and eat more of the prey to reproduce more of the predators. And then you have the dinosaur that will come and eat the prey, and they will score points. So there's a lot of little things that trigger. And what happens is you start to create this big area that you've created, your own. You create your own, and you end up with these restrictions like, oh my God, I need to get, I need to be able to just eat something so these guys can survive. And you end up with a sparse land by going around and eating things up because you need your dinosaur just to stay alive. Sometimes just to go eat a rabbit and come back, so they can stay alive. But then you want those predators to have enough to eat. So next time around, they can multiply. They need space, and they have certain movement restrictions. So it makes it harder to pull it off, like that right there, the one that you have in front of you right there. That dinosaur, that T-Rex needs to be able to eat and get back to his little spot. That's the thing. And then you lay these eggs. The eggs are worth points. There's not a lot of powers or anything in here. This is just a straight up tile laying, little strategic. How long does
it take?
Man, this game takes an hour tops.
Oh, I love that.
I think it goes all the way up to, I think
1
it goes
hour
up
wonder.
to 5. I think it goes up to 5. Dude, we're talking. This is a really fun game. That was another one. I played this game wrong the first time I played it, and I poo-pooed it. It's easy to play wrong, and still have fun. But if you play it right, it becomes a lot more strategic. It's even better. So
that happened. That happened with Llama, man. We played Llama at Dice Hard Con. We kept going, this is the lamest game ever. And then we found out we were playing it wrong. Once we learned the right rules, I'm not saying it's my favorite Rhino Knizia game, but it's a lot better of a game if you play it right.
Makes all the difference.
So, Verla, imagine being at a con next year and you've got this on your table, man. I mean, you're going to get people just passing by asking.
Heck yeah.
It's honestly, these meeples are so damn cute, man.
Tiling, adorable meeple. Sounds like
it just
chain reaction.
Hey, listen to this.
There's a little bit of that mean drafting off the tile, off the tile area. I mean, honestly, in board games, I mean, like I get to it before you do. I get it because you want it. I mean,
that's what gaming is about, right? I mean,
the tiles scale according to player count, so you don't have to worry about that. It works just as much as a 2-player game because nobody's affecting your board state. I mean, your area, your player area state. So you don't have to worry about that. It's a pretty much a hands-off game, except for people are going to pay attention to how they trigger that dinosaur at the bottom, and that's how those tiles are drafted. So the timing's very important in that game. So it's just that's pretty much the run of the game. Like I said, hour 30 minutes. If you happen to know how to play this game, boom, quick.
Dean from Meepletown says you're one of his favorites. But you're costing him the most money, Jeremy.
If I did a gift guide, I would tell people to buy this game. Like it's a good game to play with families because it's got low. It's so low on rules.
Not say that, Kevin. I said it's not. You missed an important word. Not my favorite Rhino Knizia game. No, not at all. So that is Gods Love Dinosaurs from Pandasaurus Games. Check it out. The designer is Casper Lapp. It looks like it takes under an hour. Jeremy sounds like if you play the rules right, you're going to like it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
BJ, before we get going, I've got my guest, Jeremy Howard, and we're talking spicy hot games. And one of those, Verla, I didn't know anything about this game.
I have not heard of it until you posted pictures for the show.
Me neither. I every time I think I follow board games and I sort of kind of know what's going on, Jeremy Howard comes on the show with 2 or 3 games I've never heard of, and this is Nidavellir.
This one right here, I think Tom and I are like the only 2 people who knew about this game for a while.
The more I researched it, Verla, the more excited I got. I think it's called Nidavellir.
I'm going to tell you right now, like this is amongst that 5 games a year that nobody knows about, and like they need to own it for their game night. Like this is the game night game. This is the one, right? So this is that one. This is the one you weave in there, and you just know it's good. Like you just like, we're just gonna have fun. 45 minutes, let's do this, right? So what's going on is you're playing this game over 2 ages, big stack of decks, right? Yeah, the ages are over when you get to the end of the decks. Now this board that you see, those boards that you see there, looks like this. You're going to have a set of coins, almost like a deck of coins. And if you see those people, they have like 4 or 5 coins. What you're using those coins for is to bid on cards that are available. You'll have just as many players as there are cards laid out in front of those little like tavern sign looking things right there, and you're going to be bidding for those with those coins. You'll flip them over one by one. And then you will get that card. Now, why you're drafting those cards is because you're building your own tableau. You're building your tableau of different types of cards, and they all score different. So every single color scores different. So as you do that, you got to pay attention to that. But also, you are building a deck of coins. So at the bottom, you get the 0 coin at the bottom. And you're always going to have one where you go for 0 coin. What you do with the 0 coin is you combine it with another coin, and you upgrade your coin from this rack. Okay, so there's going to be like a coin.
That comes with the game?
Coins. Yeah. There's going to be a rack with 25 coins in those, and you're trying to get better coins so you have a better deck to bid higher. So then that's what happens? Yeah, it's really cool. And then what happens is this is where it gets insane. So what happens is you start to get this tableau of cards that all have these different icons. So they're different colors and different icons. What happens is as you get a full line, you start to get these champion cards that trigger different types of scoring again. And you can continue to stack these and stack these and stack these. And then eventually at the end of the game, you're going to have a crap ton of points. This is super math at the end. But here's the even more interesting part. At the end of the round, there's a display of cards. I think I sent you one picture like that. There's a display of cards.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
that you can buy from, based on that you can buy from based on who has the most of this color, most of that color, most of that color, and they are champions that do all these crazy type of scoring combos as well, that will help you kind of determine how you want to fill your hand. This is a very easy market game in a sense. You're also kind of manipulating your deck of coins, like I said, and then you're also just kind of playing out the strategy of like how well you want to score certain types. Like there's one for just how many cards you have. There's ones that how many icons do you have. There's ones that score like Fibonacci numbers. There's one that scores like they have all these different types of scoring for each color. And you have to make some serious choices along the way. You want to get cards so people can't complete their rows because they get these champions. Wow. I mean, just wow. Simple game. And it gets as complex as you want. But that you see on the side how there's like a display of these cards in the racks over there.
Oh, yeah, I see them now.
So those are going to be all the champions that you get. And they may add icons. They may add power. They may add just straight points. And then they have these gray ones that have more complicated multipliers. You would think this is hard. But I remember when Tom said something about this game to me, and it was like, you would think that they're over-explaining the game when you read the book, but when you're done reading that rule book, you know everything you need to know about the game. Even the tiebreakers are cool. Like,
wow,
you have these like these little crystals. There's those big crystals at the top of the boards there, and like it's whoever has the highest at the time, and then if you win, you guys just switch. You just switch them, and that's it. Like everybody just switches and cycles them through. Tiebreaker's done. And there's even a card that gives you the ultimate tiebreaker for the rest of the game.
You talked about some, but you don't need innovation in the games. But I'm hearing some pretty cool innovations in this game, and maybe that's why it's got you so excited.
This is innovative. Like this was probably one of the games at game night where everybody was like, "Man, that game was good." Like we had like when I got done, like everybody was just like, "Yeah, like this is we got to play this again." I mean, these guys are spoiled. They get to play everything.
Look who's checking in. Your buddy Daryl Andrews checking in. Daryl, why not come on the show one time? We could actually talk some games.
Hey, man, I miss that man. Man, I miss his smile, man. I miss his energy, man.
Daryl says, I love his positive energy, and he teaches games so well. People, you could watch this and get an overview of some of these games, the way he's teaching tonight. So, Daryl, come on the show sometime. Don't just sit in the chat crew and talk to Jeremy Howard.
There's like, I mean, even the strategy of how you upgrade your coins. So like when you do transmute your coins, if the slot's not there, you get the one up higher. Wow. So it's like kind of like a timing thing to it too. So you could be like, oh, I can get this. Like I can skip a number.
Verla, this sounds like really something you would like.
I think so.
And it's not like trash components either, which is good. Like the components are good. If you wanted to glue this together, you could. Whatever. Yeah.
And everything you see, so you're getting the card racks and you're getting the point racks and you're getting all these things. It's all part of Nidavellir. Am I saying it right? Nidavellir? Nidavellir.
By the way, if you want to know what Nidavellir is, you may have seen it before in Avengers Endgame.
Wait,
remember?
so Jay was right?
Remember they went to Nidavellir where the what's his name was, and he made Thor's hammer.
Okay. Well, yeah. Jay said, "Is this game about crafting a star-powered hammer to fight a universe-culling titan?"
So it's
Jay knew what was up.
So, yeah.
Nicely
so it's
done, Jay.
Right. So that's what Nidavellir is, and it's basically you guys are competing factions and whatnot. So that's why all the factions have different scoring abilities and different things like that. That one right there, man. That game. I would say you definitely want to start at 3-player. This is not a 2-player game. Just absolutely not. It would be a snooze fest at 2.
How high does it go?
I think that one goes to 5.
Yeah, I'm checking it right now. It says 2 to 5, best at 3. Wait.
Yeah,
this is Serge Leger. That's what's that game? Shadows over Camelot, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Shadows over Camelot, Mystery of the Abbey. Oh, some of my favorite games that I start. I've never played Mare Nostrum, but I've got some guys in the Gumbo that's one of their big games. Wow,
very good.
I didn't realize he designed this. Oh wow,
Shadows over low Camelot. Key. By the way, Mare Nostrum is like low key a really good
Come back
game.
on the show, Jeremy. It's not on the list.
Yeah, that one was That was pretty hot. Like,
Stick
I mean,
to the
seriously,
script.
like nobody knows about that game. Like nobody.
Stick to the
Yeah.
script. Stick to the
Mhm.
script.
Yeah, stick to the
Jeremy,
script.
we'll be here all night. No.
I saw
Now,
something
hey,
on the list I want to talk about. So
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is
Get to it.
this is really cool. So that's Serge Leger, and that is from who's publishing the game? I can't even pronounce this.
So sorry, we were French or no?
GRRRE Games. GRRE Games
Who knows?
from Grenoble, France.
Tell Arcane Wonders to bring it over. Let's do it.
Nice. Yeah.
Tell Arcane Wonders to bring
Somebody
it over.
said, was it you that said that Tom wanted to bring it in, but it was already signed? So
No, I don't know I don't know on that
I
one.
saw that in
but
the
yeah.
comments.
somebody said
Yeah.
that in the comments. So
Yeah, it's like it
it's
should be
already gone.
here. Somebody needs to grab this game and bring it over. Like
Okay,
I had to order from Philibert. So
you do this anyway, but you've got me totally juiced on this one. I'm
no,
moving
I'm
it
serious.
up.
Like this one, like is man, if you're into like that auction bidding kind of thing, and it's like even more entry level enough where everybody can enjoy it because the set collection is so good.
Nice.
Like it's so pleasing. It's like you get your own, like you got your little cards laid out, you get them all stacked up, you got them in your little area. You're feeling good. You're like, ooh, I got this. I got a 3 red lined up. I got these 2 red up. And then when you finally get where even you'll get 2 rows where they're about to finish, and you get it to finish, and then you get a master, and you put it down on the next row, and then you finish another row, so then you get to put another guy down there, and it's like, oh my god, this is awesome. It feels good when you pull it off.
Daryl says they're connected with Asmodee, and they are a game company to watch out for.
They'll be they're going to be a game company to watch out for.
We're going to check that out. Nick said, there's a whole, Verla, I don't know if you're paying attention, there's a whole Disney chat going on the side.
Okay.
Nick
I'm
said
trying to catch it and watch this. And
Nick Hayes said he just got out nerded. So
Yeah, there you
All
go.
right.
Games were really ready. So that's fine.
Evan, I'm trying. I know he's off book, but I'm trying. I'm pulling him back in.
Pull it back.
Pull it back in.
Pull it back.
All right.
Here we go.
BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, Jeremy Howard from Man vs. Meeple, and Verla and I our wallets are just hurting right now because game after game after game, and this is another one. This one is Furnace. I didn't even know about this game, and you put it on the list. Tell me
one
about
right
it.
here. Man, so simple. So simple. So simple.
It doesn't look like it though, man.
So
it doesn't.
All right, so dig
And I haven't
this.
heard of
Okay,
this
you got
game.
okay. So basically, it comes down to this: you are basically triggering off an engine in your player area, right?
Okay.
So you start off as like this bidding. Okay, so you have like I think it's 2, 3, and 4, 2, 3, and 4 bids, and you'll put them on like it's like 7 cards that are laid out. All right. The cool part about these cards is they have a top resource that you get if you don't win the bid, and then what happens is whoever's losing they get that. So 4 for this times that. Okay.
Oh.
So what'll happen is people will even bid knowing they're going to lose so they can get the resources. The person who wins the card gets to put it in their tableau. Okay. So there's a really interesting thing here where people are basically bidding on stuff they definitely know they're not going to win, but they're going to get the right resources they want to spend on their cards when they come to their player area. So dig this. So now you get to a part where you have cards that you can upgrade. At the bottom of the cards, the bottom half of the cards, you have resources that you trigger. So you would turn in the stone that I just got, like I would get 4 stone from what I just showed you, and then I would take them and I would convert them to points, to coins. And coins is just how we win the game. But you can also upgrade the cards with these little gear tiles, little gear pieces you get to flip them over and make the cards even more juicy. But nobody's messing with those. This is just yours. And you can have a run of like 5, 6 cards. I mean, like 10, 12 cards, and you get to trigger them from left to right in the order you want. You can actually switch the order so it's laid out properly for you to trigger your engine. That does lead to a lot of AP. This is a very AP heavy game if you do get into it because you're starting to build this insane engine on your own. But you also don't want to get too many cards because the point is you need resources. You need things that'll convert, but you also need resources. So that's why people want to, bid on stuff they're completely not going to win because they just want, 4 resources or 2 resources or 3 resources. But everybody's paying attention to how everyone's bidding and going, well, I mean, they want that card really bad, but I need the resources on top. So I'm going to bid low on that card. Or now that I've seen them put their 4 down, I'll put the 2 over there and I'll still get the card that I want. And then I'll use the 4 on one that I know I'm not going to win because there's tiebreaker rules too. So it's like you kind of like you're always paying attention. This is actually gets pretty intense as you get like into this game, and it's only 4 rounds, I believe. So, and then there's
Chat Krewe. This is Ivan Lashin. I didn't realize that. I just checked it out. Ivan or Ivan Lashin, that smartphone, you know how much the Gumbo loves smartphone, especially with the status update. Wow, man.
Okay.
Formerly
this
of Cosmic
right here. So
this guy's a designer and a half, man. I'm telling you. Now I'm really juiced about this. Man.
This one is at Hobby World.
By the way, Daryl Andrews said Arcane Wonders is bringing this back. Okay.
So it's with Hobby World right now. Arcane Wonders has brought some of their games over before. By the way, another Hobby World game just came over. It's called Deranged. Arcane did not pick it up. It's a really interesting game.
By the way, thank you, Panic Games. This is your last time ever on the show, so good night. We'll see you. I love that cover, man.
The cover actually looks really nice when you see it in person. It does look kind of a snooze fest when you see it from afar. I felt the same way. Okay. But yeah, this one is really, really interesting. This is another one at game night where we're just like, yep.
I just didn't know the show at all. What's going on with these? What's going on with these cards?
They all have these different abilities. These are people who were, entrepreneurs at the time. As a matter of fact, when they come over to the States, there will be some additions to that with people of color. So you will have some diversity in this game. But they all give you different things that is going to be during the auction, or they're going to be during your triggering time when you do run your engine. So they kind of have some that break the rules. Like you can't put two of the same number, I think, on the same card. But one can break that one. You can have, like ones that help you get more, upgrade tokens. You can have ones that, multiply the number of resources you get, stuff like that. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. I want to make sure. I don't want to make stuff up. So, yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, let's just stick to the facts there. Okay,
stick to the facts, bro. But yeah, they have abilities. It's kind of cool.
All right, so Verla says 30 to 60 minutes. That's right up, his alley.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like 60 minutes the first time you play, 45 minutes if you don't have the AP crowd, though. So
it looks like midweight, maybe middle, maybe even less than midweight. I have not played the 2-player mode in that one. There is a 3rd player in that one. I do not a 3rd player of some sort. I can't remember that one entirely. Like I said, I don't want to speak too freely if I don't know. But you do need to know that there's a variant for 2. It's not just straight 2. I like what I'm hearing. And that is Furnace from Hobby World coming to here from Arcane Wonders. So keep an eye out for that one. BJ Morgan Gumbo, I've got my guest here, Jeremy Howard. And Verla and I are checking out some of the spicy hot games he's played recently. We're trying to get people to open up their Christmas wallets and help out the economy. Hey, I'm going to tell you, I know these guys over at Elf Creek Games. I like these people a lot. Mike and Brent, they're awesome, 2 awesome dudes. I've hung out with them at different conventions. Mike's been on the show before. Honey Buzz is one that I kind of didn't take a close look. And then when it came out and I started seeing a little bit about the actions, Verla, have you seen the board and everything else on it?
Oh, it's gorgeous. This has been probably one of my highest anticipated midway.
You and Kelly had it?
Here. No, I didn't back it. I regret it. As soon as we get it in at work, it's going to be mine.
I'm hoping that Jeremy can verify something, because what I'm hearing is this is not Merchants of the Dark Road or anything super, super heavy. This is going to be one that I can pull out with my family at Christmas time, play, maybe even give to some of my nieces and nephews that like games, but are, they're not into, the biggest of the game. They don't want to play Merv. This is not Merv, right, Jeremy? Sell me on it. Honey Buzz. Uh-oh.
I'll explain it, and if you have any further questions, you let me know.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
So this is a worker placement game. It's worker placement, tile laying, and what you're doing is you're placing workers in this little bee area. So what happens is you're placing your workers in this little beehive kind of thing. At different spots, and they'll give you specific resources wherever you place them, that kind of thing like that. So you see these different ones down here. They're going to give you, tiles that you'll have. So once you get these tiles, these look like this, you'll start to lay them in formation where they kind of attach, but they don't touch the white. And you'll make these formations with the, around there. And what'll happen is as you complete one.
Really, Evan? Really? Way too soon, Evan.
There's
a lot of buzz about these games.
Yeah, no. Let me see this. Let me try to do this in my hand. So when you complete it like this, kind of like this, like this.
Okay.
So those all come together. As you can see, like that. All the icons that I have on there, like that little worm right there and all these, they all trigger. So now I get to take all those actions. And that would be things like multiply, like I get more of my workers. That would be things like I get money to spend on resources. And I also can do something called forging, which means I can move across this map. So on the board, there are a whole bunch of these like little tiles and stuff that are on here. And you're trying to get the specific nectar you need because that little formation I made, if I get the right nectar, I can put it inside my little formation that I have around there. Okay. And then I can fan it to make honey. Okay, so I can fan it to make honey. So I have these right here, and I trade them in on this resource market. Okay, so the resource market.
So you're making honey, and the bees are finally making some money off their honey.
You make the formation, so they have the different formation card. Okay, so you get that. So then you make formations for a specific type of nectar. You go out on the board, you get that nectar, then you trade it in on this resource market here.
Rinse, wash, repeat.
Then you have these cards that are like mission cards that you'll also score points for if you want to buy those. You also have let's see.
Look at the components.
But you also have different scoring cards as well that are in the middle of the board. As a matter of fact, I'll just show you like this. You have these different scoring cards right here. They're going to be 3 different ones, and they're different types of scoring. So you have different ways of chasing points.
Is that a more advanced way to play, or that comes in every game?
It's part of the game. So, and they have easy ones. There's actually an easy setup for the game. There's easy, medium, and hard, and they have multiples of them. So you have so many options with this game. But the interesting part about this one is that you can do like a little Manhattan. Manhattan Project Energy Empire, where if you place the same spot, you have to pay more. That kind of stuff like that. Sure. So there's definitely some strategy to how this goes. Put on workers, take them off, kind of thing. But yeah, the big thing comes from the AP part of this game, which would be any detractor for someone, is how you're putting these together. Okay, how you put these together, because like I showed you before with that card, as you can see, these they can get complex because you need a specific type to put that nectar in. You can't just put whatever you want in there. So that's where it becomes interesting. And that picture that you have down there, like you need the specific type. So you also have a little war of going through and grabbing the right resources as well. So you're using an action to get around that little thing.
So the stuff in the side of each picture, that's the different types of resources?
That's the nectar that you want.
Okay.
That's the nectar you want. And you will put it inside your little formation.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's so there's.
And it's set collection fashion or more like resources.
So you have all of it, both of it, both.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not.
That's just like a family weight game.
No, that's the thing. It can be, but I think the only reason why younger players are going to struggle with this one is because of the complexity of making the specific formations. Now, really, all it boils down to is 3 tiles make 1, 4 tiles make 2, this one, 5 tiles make this one. You have to get around that, but it would be frustrating to play if you didn't understand that concept, because you're just trying to make these things go together. Well, if you only put 3 tiles together, you're only going to have 3 actions. You put 4 tiles together, you have 4 actions. You want to kind of make it so they both trigger at the same time, and you do have honeycomb setups where it will trigger both at the same time, which is what you want optimally. So you can get up to 6 actions at once. So
what are the Beeples made out of? Is that wood or that plastic acrylic type stuff?
Yeah, this is a deluxe edition, so they got the little honeycomb.
I'm not giving. What is it?
They got the little honey stick.
Yeah. Honey stir.
No, Topher, it's not Queen Games that publishes this game. It's Elf Creek Games, designed by Paul Solomon.
Yeah, Paul Solomon.
Yeah, Paul Solomon.
They're really good up and coming designer. And then they got these little pouches here. They got these little bee pouches.
Yeah, Elf Creek always goes all the way out.
Yeah,
man. Hey, did you know that Adrian and Daryl have a game coming out with beavers in that same universe with Elf Creek?
What?
Yeah.
Is it called Beaver Dam? No.
Daryl's gonna have to let us know.
Oh, damn.
It's set in the Sweetwater Grove universe where Honey Buzz exists, coming out next year. Wow, that'll be Daryl's like
Wait,
700th game published. That guy is just prolific.
Is that the Paradox?
What's that?
Is that Paradox Initiative? It's probably not.
We'll have to find out from him.
Okay, yeah, because it's really cute. On the side of the box, they have all the games from Elf Creek, and each one of them has like bees playing the game.
I saw that. That's cute. Yeah, it's cute.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Did you know in the deluxe edition it comes with actual bees?
Yes, I actually got stung one by one in the neck, and I slept for 2 days.
I haven't heard a review yet, though, Jeremy. We gonna get anything, or is the non-review the review we're gonna get?
Oh, for that game?
For Honey Buzz, yeah.
So I mean, like honestly, I played the prototype live almost a year ago, and
I think I remember that.
Yeah, and I knew it was good, you know. And I really can't say much less about this final product. The components are good. The gameplay is generally good. And it's a nice puzzle, but outside of it really being a heavy AP thing, I think some of the cards, sometimes the card market is a little too dominant. There's a couple other things in there, but I will probably do a full review of this one.
This surprises me because
I think it's really is worth giving a full once over. By the way, amping up big reviews coming up here in 2021. I'm getting prepared, so yeah. I'm excited.
Well, the box makes me think Ticket to Ride-ish, that light level, and it's not. This looks a lot more complicated.
No, and the thing is, it's not complicated. It's just it can be, and I would fear that younger players would be at a major disadvantage.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. And that's Honey Buzz from Elf Creek Games. Yeah, interesting. The Beeple's game.
Player solo mode is very good. They have a lot of cards in there. They have a lot of solo scoring cards. And you are beating the AI. There is an actual AI. They even have dice for the deluxe edition. So if this is going to be a solo only purchase, I definitely feel comfortable recommending this one because there's so much gameplay in it. And especially if you're going to be playing multiplayer, this will round out the box really well. So I that's a big thing for me. If you're not a solo gamer primarily, and you know you're going to be playing with at least one other person or something like that, this game scales perfectly. They actually make it smaller for you. There's even a more advanced mode where you can play with it blind, so you get the memory and flip it over. So they've got some things.
It sounds like there's a lot of variety, and I'm usually not a solo gamer, but I feel like a game like this, and especially with what you're saying with all that it offers solo, I would probably actually enjoy solo.
And it's so hands off. You flip a card off the deck, restrict the worker placement spot. That's it.
Nice.
I like that.
Hey, BJ, take a peek at the host chat when you get a chance.
Okay, well. So how are you doing there, Jeremy? You feel like you got another game in you or not?
I got plenty. Let's go.
All right, here we go. What's we got? All right, let's see. So
let's go. I'm good.
Yeah, checking it out. BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guest here, Jeremy Howard. We're talking spicy hot games. Let's see if we can sneak in a game or two more. Red Cathedral from Nidavellir Games getting a lot of buzz, especially the last couple of weeks. I mean, the last couple of weeks, it's everywhere on social media. But Jeremy's got the scoop for us. Tell us about Red Cathedral.
Oh, 1 second here with the Red Cathedral.
Have you played Red Cathedral with Verla?
Okay, here it is. First of all, you can actually see it on TTS if you really, really want to play it, whatnot. Tabletopia. So what you're basically doing is there's a kind of a castle you're helping build. And on that castle, you have these cards laid up, like going up on the side of the board. And then you also have this little town board area here as well. And there's going to be dice in certain spots around here in these little 3 spots. And there's also going to be resources in these little spots right here. And then on the corners, you're going to have these kind of citizens, different parts that represent that quadrant, the different quadrants on here. And they're going to have abilities that you can trigger. So what you're doing on your board is you're taking one of 3 actions. And what you're really doing is claiming one of the cards that helps build the building. And that basically makes it so you can only put resources on that card. Another thing you can do is put on resources on a card. And then another one that you can do on that city board is you can take a die and move it across that many spaces and gain the resources for wherever you stop at. Plus, trigger one of the guys, the people that you stop in front of, and they'll give you extra coins. They'll give you extra resources. They'll give you conversion of resources. And what you're doing is you're building this little bit of an engine going on, so that you can score points, but also I think it's called like intrigue. And what happens is at the beginning, it's like five intrigue to 1 point. Then it goes 4 to 1 point, 3 to 1 point, 2 to 1 point, and then eventually you start scoring points towards the end. But what you're ultimately trying to do is build these cards by putting resources on them. And then all of a sudden, you have parts of the building that are officially built. The cathedral are built. And that's where you gain the influence, which is part of the game. And as you do that, players can place their markers higher and higher, and you start to build your cards, these cards as you go up. And you're trying to do like a little bit of an area dominance. So like if you're in that column next to the board, if you have the most influence in that column, then you get points for the entire column of the building, in a sense.
Okay.
So there's a fight for that stuff, and that's really cutthroat. Also, people who have not completed their parts under you, they lose points. So there's really like a kind of a beatdown thing going on. May not be a big deal for you. Some people don't like that. But yeah, you got some interesting little things, like even if you don't complete a card, if someone else completes a card, you can pay jewels to put little windows in their spots. So that helps you get some more influence even when you didn't finish things. So there's a lot of small stuff going on. There's even a cool little trigger that happens when you take dice. When you take one of the pieces off, you can put a tile in your board. You want to come back to me real quick?
Yep. Hold on.
So on the cards, they have these little tiles when you claim them. What you do is you pay. Whoops, we'll flip this over. You pay this coins and you put it on the tile like this. So then when you go to town and you trigger a red die, you move the red die. I mean, you move your red die, and then you get this resource. Well, there's also some that when you move that color. Let me see. Yeah. All right, yeah. Let me do this. Then you may see this color red. You move the red die, but then you also get the benefit of the blue die. So now you're getting resources from two different sides of the board.
Ooh.
On the thing. Yeah. So and then when you get done doing your action as well, you roll the die and it changes the board game state. So there's a lot of, there's definitely some, you're like, wait, hold on now. Like, okay, they moved the die I wanted, but now it's a 2. That seems more juicy. And then you can also, if it matches your player color, you can even pay to move further along the track. So if you're too short or something, like that yellow die is a 1, you can move it one spot. But if you wanted to pay, you could actually play it to move further if your color is yellow. Even the white. Yeah. So there's like a little bit of that going on. And like you see the red die, I would get that resource, but then I would also get the resource from the blue. So that's a way to kind of get the resources you need to contribute to building the cathedral.
How big is this box? It looks
okay. So this is a small box.
I know.
It's not that big.
You're describing a pretty big game.
But the thing is when you lay it out, it's bigger than what you think. Like when you play a 4-player game, you got some choices to make because it's actually it's pretty sprawling. It's not small.
So I'm curious. Small, on the website, it says 30 to 120 minutes a game. Is that?
I'm gonna say your first game is gonna be close to 2 hours.
Okay.
I think lower player counts will get to an hour. 2-player, because it's just one of those games that's going to require you don't want to let stuff slide because there's a lot of negative impacts. If someone has there's sometimes I'll just use it for example. There will be one part of the cathedral that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Well, once I put something on the bottom, which is the door level, anybody can claim stuff above it. So what happens is somebody may complete something way up at the top. And then when they complete the card, everybody below it who hasn't finished loses influence. So you don't want to be the last one. So you're trying to figure out how can I get to this first, but I need to get the resources I want. And then it's just a weird combination. It's a very interesting game. I don't know if everybody's going to like this game.
Okay.
Because the theme is super dry. And I know how they might not be a fan of the art style. And people do judge books by their covers. And I feel like this is one of those games that might suffer from that. But the scoring system is really interesting. I like the interaction in this one. It's just a real thinky game. So I hate saying thinky, but it really is a thinky game. It's a really thinky game.
Devere Games is one of those games that is one of those companies that's much bigger in Europe than here in America.
But they also publish they just have different games.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Nothing's like Silk, Barcelona. What is that? Michael Strogoff.
Right.
There's a kids learning game that they have.
Like the one I played was the one that had Warhammer figures, and you're racing these crazy carts and kicking each other. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, what are we?
It's like all these strange themes.
What was that other one with Papao? Whatever. Papao.
That's them?
That was like this crazy dice placement type game. Yeah, I mean, like they have interesting titles.
Verla, you excited? What do you think?
I'm really curious about it. I'm kind of like you said, the art really doesn't draw me in, and that's so big for me. But I don't want to, cast it aside because of that, especially when
I totally feel you. Totally feel you.
All right, well, that's Red Cathedral from Devere Games. Interesting. Not a lot of chatter on the chat crew, but that's okay. Might be something. Okay. Might be something to play. All right, Jeremy, you ready to play a game, or you got one more game you want to talk about?
No. Put Dwellings on there.
All right, one more game.
Put Dwellings on there.
Chat crew, get your wallets. Get your checkbooks. Get your credit cards. We got one more game to talk about.
This is the one you want to save for the last.
But I do want to have time for a game because I've got some games to give out tonight.
This is fun.
Okay, good.
All right.
BJ, before we're going to go, I've got my guests here, Jeremy, Howard, and Verla and I are talking spicy hot games. And the next one on the list, Dwellings of Eldervale from Breaking Games, something no one's talking about anywhere on social media at all. That's a lie.
So what if I told you there was a game that has worker placement, area control influence, tableau building,
I'd say
monsters with abilities, 16 different factions with abilities,
game trays.
Like
has it all.
So, and you know what they have that's the coolest thing of them all? Hold on.
What's he got?
Hold on.
What's he breaking
up? Of course, I got the one that. Hold on one second. There it is.
Sound effects. Oh my god!
What is that?
Little monster, the phoenix.
No way.
Yes. That is glorious.
Yeah, dude. Hold on. I gotta grab one more. Sorry, I have to do this. I have to do this. This is absolutely ridiculous because it has nothing to do with the gameplay other than it's just absolutely ridiculous and cool.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the game. Yeah, like literally like this lava monster, and they have two different forms. So yeah, and they're huge. Who even cares? Like, who cares, right? Okay. So anyway, in this game,
so this is Toy Game the Euro. Okay? That's what this is.
Right.
Toy Game
you're not even really seriously. So you're placing your workers on these things, and you're going to get tiles. These little tiles here. This is just the regular ones, but they're little tiles, and they have multiple uses. So you can use them for resources. You can use them to put in cards to trigger abilities, and then you also have this little control here. What you're trying to do is put these dwellings on there, Dwellings of Eldervale, so that you can score multipliers by taking over certain elements. There's going to be an elemental board on the side with different cards, and as you open the gates to those, you're going to get different cards. Those cards are going to have different abilities that affect everything. I mean, they set up walls, they trigger up more cards on your tableau. They do all these different things, and you'll have a tableau over there that will expand your point multipliers for your point multipliers at the end game. There's actually there's like a elemental tracks that go around, and they actually are contingent upon like how many people are playing. So if you have 5 people, you're going to use all of them. If you have 2 people, you're only going to use 4. So it's like what elements you're dealing with, and they have little mechanisms for everything. So like if you go to this magical land and go get these doors, you can actually buy a card, but then you can also buy a card. You can bury a card as well. So you can like do things like kind of strategically to not let everybody just get what they want. You also have these dwellings. So interesting part about this game is when you put the dwellings on there, your worker becomes the dwelling. So you lose a worker, but they add to your influence for that area. And they also contribute to your dice pool for when you get into attack situations. Yeah. So,
What?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So these workers, you have your basic workers,
Sure.
and then you have your warriors, which like help you fight and they contribute more dice. You have your wizards where they can just go anywhere on the board. And then you have your dragons that can move up to 2 away. So you can't just fly around the board. You can only go around, like once you place a worker, you can only go like 1 step away. So like in a area around them.
Sure.
But what happens is these types of warriors also change depending on the faction. Now this is just one color, right? And this will tell you the different abilities that they have. I pop this out and I flip it over. Different abilities, different faction, different abilities.
Wow.
Yeah. And they have these game trays in it as well. So everything's neatly organized. It's all packed in there.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Super replayable. Lots to explore, right?
Yeah. And then, so the crazy part is that you also have these monsters. So the monsters come out and they have their own abilities as well. When you get within 1 space of them, they move over to you. I was hoping that it would do that on cue. They move over to you, and they do these little things that affect the board game state. Like this one will probably have like, it'll push everybody away so you can't fight them. But everybody can come in and fight together if they're next to you. So like, I'll go fight a guy, but then people next to me can join in as well. And whoever wins the battle will get like points or whatever. But whoever loses goes to the underworld. So, it sounds crazy. And they get swords so they can win fights later on. So it's like you have ways of like dealing with this fight thing if you don't like the fight part. And you're chucking a crap ton of dice. A crap ton of dice. That's the one part that people maybe not like, but there's so many ways around making that work for you. And I just encourage people to really take a look at this one. It's so out of the box. It sounds like a freaking disaster when you explain it. Like I remember when I first heard about this game, and Peter asked me to cover it because it had a solo mode. And solo mode is almost perfection. And
I got a picture of it there. Is that
said, I'll play it. I was like, I'll play it. And then I ended up just loving that game. And then I said, if this game comes out in 2020, it's going to be my game of the year. And I played the final copy, and I was just absolutely blown away. Yeah, there's so many things I just glossed over because there's a lot going on in this game. It's not a light game at all. Like it's nothing near a light game because there's just a lot of small things that you can use, cards for. And
I'm not hearing it pigeonholed though. I mean, I'm hearing some Ameritrashy. I'm hearing some Eurui. I'm hearing some conflict.
There's everything. I didn't even talk about magic cards. Magic cards can score points. They let off spells. They have there's so much going on in this game.
How hard is it to learn?
It's going to take about 30 minutes to teach. It's going to take about 30 minutes to teach. So it's not a light game. It's not a light game at all. And it's not because the rules are clunky. It's actually very simple. You are placing workers or taking them off. You are playing cards or using resources that are free actions, just like any Euro game. Right. But of course, in true Laissez fashion, there's always a whole bunch of executive actions to follow. Right?
Just play a card. Pick a card. Play a card. Pick a card.
Right. When you pull your workers off, guess what you can do? You can do several things. You can buy more workers. You can trigger some resources on your card. You can do there's so many things that you get to do that are very pleasing in this game. And that's a great game.
Christian says easy to teach.
But that's the thing.
A long teach, but easy.
It's a long teach, but it's literally everything that's happening is something that you've seen happen in a game before. It's just when you get to the monsters and how they work, and then how you get the cards out of there, the elemental cards. You need to know how that system works, so you know how your multipliers will match up. But it is easy to teach. It's just
what do you
think,
Verla?
what you're working with.
Okay, there's elements of it that don't sound like me at all, but everything you've described, I want to jump in and try this. It sounds really fun.
That's what I would say. And then the factions are just completely different. They're completely
Christian
different.
says 18 different factions. By the way.
There's 18. They're so they work so different. Enough because everybody has a dragon, wizard, all that stuff like that. But it also just the differences that they have feel OP in the right way. So everybody has their little overpoweredness, maybe extra dice, maybe you can't join in a battle that they're in. All these just small little details that you're like, ooh, I can do that. Yay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you start adding those tableau cards in there, start adding monsters in there because the monsters can be different every game. You'll have at least 4, I believe, in every game. So you don't even know when those are going to come out because the tiles come out. You're like, oh, here's a monster. Where are you putting the monster? I'll put it right next to you, so you can't go there. And that. Yeah, it's just it's great.
I want to try this. I want to play this.
I know it is not good.
I'm like Verla. I missed the Kickstarter, and now I'm regretting it. This would have been fun to have.
This one plays up to 4. Somebody's in the chat.
Jay's asking.
I'm not kidding you. Like this, and it works at all players counts because of tile scale. So
okay.
I played it. I've actually played it mostly 2-player, and I believe the designer and publisher said they tested it pretty much most of the time at 2-player, so they know it's
1 to 5, best of 4.
Yep,
so,
4 is the best, followed by 1. And actually, they're really all good modes. I think when it says best at 4, it's just because you get to see everything.
3.2 weight on BGG. It's a little chunkier than I thought.
I'm serious, dude. It's not.
Got some meat.
Blue Glory doesn't design light games though.
That's true.
Mad Hat Empire is about the same weight, and then Whistle Mountain's about the same weight. So
got some mate. So worker placement, it's got some fantasy, it's got the crazy over-the-top production.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is one
and sound effects.
I know. Come on, man.
And sound effects.
What are we doing here?
I like that. All right. So that is Dwellings of Eldervale from Breaking Games.
I'm just going to whip these out, by the way, at random. So just expect me to be turning these on as we play.
Yes.
By the way, we got to say a big congrats to Christian Strain, man. Knocked it out of the park with one of our favorite games, Asking for Troubles. Good job, man. That was a really well Kickstarter. Hey, he took it down, retooled a little bit, came back and knocked it out the park.
See, and that's the move, man. See, I was just talking about this on the podcast. We went really deep about 10 things that we look for in a Kickstarter. Myself and Alex from Board Game Co. Check that video out. And we were pretty serious about some of the things that publishers are doing and don't do, because I've worked with a lot of publishers on small projects, and I've just seen enough over my years and just talking about it behind the scenes. Want to know more about the business, and some of the things I still see are just not good. Some things I see are good, and we had about an hour and a half discussion because Alex is a business guy. He also does the business of Kickstarter as well. So we really broke that stuff down, and what he did was exactly what you want to do. It's okay to take the lumps. It's about how you respond, man.
And he did.
What do your backers want? And you need to find that out. You need to take it on the chin and do something about it.
Super engaging in the comments. Retooled the way the page looked, and then even had this cool thing where, if you wanted to, you could help him design one of the ships in the game.
Guess what? You could have cut corners.
So much fun.
Cut corners. He didn't have to do that.
He didn't
have to. He has fans.
He
has fans. He didn't have to do that.
But Jeremy, we have had a fantastic year, bookend by Jeremy Howard. Jeremy was early in the year and then late in the year, coming on with a ton of games, lots of sound effects. As a big thank you, I've got some games tonight to give away. I've got Exit.
Let's give away some
Nick Elkins. I've got Silver Coin to give away.
Card game that keeps on giving, baby. I love that. Those coins, I love a good slick card game. As you can tell, we did some card games tonight.
I've got weird giraffes and galactic raptors stickers from all of their little games there. Some cool things.
Very nice.
I've even got some Steve Jackson games. So we got tons of stuff. I got a big.
Remember, Tumbletown is coming. It just launched. Just delivered, right? From
starting, it should be delivering pretty soon.
I want to get my hands on that one, definitely. So
I played it. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fun. We got a bunch of games here. We're gonna give out to the big winner. We're going to be playing for the first time ever. This was Verla. This is your idea or Steve's idea? Whose idea was this?
I won't take credit for this one. It wasn't mine. Probably
Jay's idea. Somebody's idea. Maybe. We decided to play a game that Jeremy Howard has never played. Jeremy's been on the show so many times, Steve, that we have had no choice but to come up with another game.
I know.
So the game we got tonight.
Way too much.
No. Hey, you're making us work, man. I just noticed I didn't even have the names on. So let me get that done. So we got MonsDRAWsity from friend of the show, Eric Lawson. Yeah. One of the coolest party games that I have played. And so, no, Nick, you got to win the game. You can't just ask for silver coin. You have to actually win the game. So, Steve, tell the chat crew, how can they win a copy of all these games here? How are they going to win it? Playing.
I think you're going to have to do this one, BJ, because we were talking about the artist drawing. I don't know how you've got it. I don't know how you've got it planned for the chat to win this.
Still doing it. Oh wait.
I know. How there's no way for chat to win.
They're drawing, right? And we're voting on them.
The chat's drawing too, because they don't have the ability to send to me in our messenger.
Oh, that's right. We did change that up. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll have to do this on the fly, Jeremy. So
Okay.
what we're gonna do is we've got a couple people drawing. Who've got drawing so far?
I think we've got me, Verla, Jay, maybe Kelly if she's still around. And
Kelly's
those
still
were
out
the
there.
folks who said yes. Evan, I don't know if Evan was still available too.
How's the game going to work? And what I'll do is I'll figure out a way to give out some of these games.
All right. Well, what's going to end up happening is with MonsDRAWsity, you've got these fantasy monster characters, and we're kind of going to be like,
Best moment of the show, Steve. The 3 Jeremys with Julie.
still haunted. She should still be haunted. It is. Yeah, I wake up in cold sweats at that. The idea of the game is going to be that BJ is going to give Jeremy a picture, and that'll start it. He'll get 20, to get to look at it for a little while, and he'll have to describe to us what he sees in the picture of this character or monster. We're going to be drawing blind, like crime sketch artists. So we're going to have him. He's going to be able to tell us for maybe 20 or 30 seconds what he sees in the picture. We'll have to draw for maybe a minute or so about what we see, and then Jeremy's going to take a look at ours and decide which one best looks like the monster that he saw at the scene of the crime.
I just saw Julie with the 3 Jeremys.
I wish I had that picture quick. We could do that.
I wish you had the 3 Jeremys picture.
I got it, Steve. Here's what we can do. So everybody that votes,
Yep.
I'm going to keep track of all the people that vote.
Okay.
And then I'm going to roll some dice, and we're going to pick
That
a winner.
sounds good. That sounds good.
So,
All
Chat Krewe, all you got to do is participate. Looks like Evan's in. Looks like Kevin's in. We got a bunch of people in.
Kelly's in.
All right. So I need to send Steve to audio, right?
Yeah. Send me down.
Okay. Let's see. So you're still in, Steve. You're just
Gotcha.
in audio right now. Okay.
Perfect.
But do I need to go down too so I don't see it?
I don't think so. I'm going to actually text the picture to Jeremy so he can
okay.
see that. And then I'm going to show this in the stream. All right. So I think I've got you all set up, right, Steve?
I think so. And do you want me to draw too, or just manage the picture?
Why not? Oh, it's up
Right.
to you, man. Oh, yeah.
I'll
We got a
give
bunch
it
of
a go.
people here. Yeah. Hey, Chat Krewe, to win this, all you got to do is make a comment, and I'm going to be writing down names while everybody else is doing their stuff. Jeremy, are you ready to play MonsDRAWsity?
Send it to me, baby. Let's do it.
You're going to be the narrator first, and then I may just keep getting you and Verla to be the narrators. That way I can help run the game. We'll see. Verla, you up for narrating if necessary?
I can try.
Okay. All right, so here we go. Oh, wrong one. So, hey, Jeremy, get your messenger out.
I'm up.
I'm taking a picture of the thing right now.
Okay.
This
So
is-
while you're doing that, I'm seeing some quotes from some questions from people who are going to be the drawers. Evan, Kevin, what you can do, draw your picture on a regular piece of paper, take a picture of it with your camera, and send it to me in the Gateway chat, and I'll post them to VJ that way.
All right, Jeremy, I sent it to you. This is art by the Micho, by the way. By the Micho. If you've played
Meeple?
Raiders of the North Sea or any of those games.
Pico. Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
All right, so you got the Micho. You got his little picture.
Okay, so I
On your phone?
can't say what it is. I can only describe body parts.
I'm gonna give you 20 seconds to look at it, because guess what? You're gonna have to put your phone down after that, and then for 2 minutes you're gonna describe what you saw. Okay, so 20 seconds starts now. You take a look. All right, so Verla, what do you think? Are you interested in maybe doing some describing? Maybe
How am I going to get this?
I'll just send you
Okay.
if
In
you
the-
have your phone handy.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the Gumbo Live one, and that'll be one that Steve will just have to not look at.
I'll stay out.
Just on those, Steve. But on this one, it's Jeremy. Okay, Jeremy, your 20 seconds are up. I'm going to let you take it away. Now, chat crew that is participating in the drawing, Jeremy's going to have 2 minutes to describe what he saw without looking at the picture. The rest of you, chat crew, you're just going to take a look at the pictures and vote on who you think is the person. All right, go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay. Are
Your
you
time
ready?
starts now.
Okay, so this beast it looks like a coat hanger with a shower head for arms, for a second set of arms, and suction cup like legs. Okay, so what happens is this basically is it's a stick. Doesn't have like a face. It actually just has like a hat rack look. So it's long and skinny. It's like long and skinny straight up, but sticking out of the hat rackish like arms are shower heads instead, like shower heads, but they have lips and they have teeth that look like kind of suction cupish for each arm. It's a palish looking color. It's not wearing a gingerbread suit.
You got 1 minute.
It's got eyes that I think are just individual eye-ish. They're not like full face. There's no face to this thing. It's kind of skinny, wrinkly. Just think of it as not a body. It's not fully a body. It's just basically, like I said, a stand. Like think mic stand. Think think mic stand. Think hat rack. That kind of thing that's on the ground.
Hey, Verla, if any of you have questions, throw them out. If you got questions in the chat group. Oh, Topher says long and skinny?
Yeah, long, skinny, straight up and down. Let's think of myself as like a skinny kid, tall, straight, and then also dangling off because it really doesn't have a face or a real body. Its body is like that stick that's in the middle, and hanging off of it are these kind of arms that are, like I said, look like shower curtains that have the kind of hanging shower curtains that rain over you kind of thing. So they have like this big hole with teeth and lips. And it looks like if you were to take a shower under it, it would have teeth and it would bite you in the face.
Jay,
Right.
I got you. Jeremy can hear you. So if you have any questions for him, anything, you got 10 seconds.
I got it. Image. You show me the image.
The only question is, do I have to show my picture?
Yeah, you have
All right, there we go. That's your 2 minutes, Jeremy.
All right.
Yeah.
So now Steve's gonna throw the pictures into.
I got to take a picture of my own.
All right, so let's start making a list there, Jeremy. I'm gonna start writing it down here. We have all the people checking in. Let's see what we got. All right, we got. Hey, look, you got a couple of compliments there. Jen said some great descriptions. Very nice.
I got to see these. These pics got to be good.
Yeah, no, they don't have to be.
They got to be. I
If
think I did a great job. And
we had Christian Strain in there.
I don't know. Chris can't do it. He cannot do it. He cannot
All right.
focus.
I sent mine. I got to start pulling some in now.
Yeah, Chris cannot.
Jen, I'm going through all the list here. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I had a good middle picture. Of course, I knew what I was looking for. So
Yeah.
let's see what we got. I got Fiona checking in. We got Evan, Nick, of course. Nick just wants to win the game, of course. Yeah, I know, Nick. If Nick, we're basically testing this game out. We're going to try to figure out a way to get everybody involved in it. I think that would be fun. Patricia checking in. Patricia G. Any kind of comment. That's right, Jen. But voting is what we're really looking for too. So we're looking for voting.
Yeah.
I'm looking
All
for
right.
people that are going to participate. So you got it? You got some pictures?
I'm getting some, but I got to pull them from the chat one by one.
Does the monster have a name? His name is Jeff.
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 I like that.
His name is Jeff.
Oh,
Just
I got
a guy named Jeff. That's it. He's just a guy named Jeff.
Christian would have been really good at this one. Oh, Julie. How's Julie's drawing, by the way? I'm putting you on the spot, Jeremy.
Oh man. Let's see it. Did you send it? Did you send these pictures?
I think Steve's still putting it in there.
I'm still putting them in there. They're coming one by one. There's a lot more people than I thought drawing.
Oh, nice.
Dude, I want to tell you right now. No, I'm serious. MonsDRAWsity must own game. It's absolutely ridiculous. I played this last year right when he was about to. I think they had just picked it up, and I played it. Let me tell you, it gets silly real quick. Okay, like the drawings get a little silly real quick.
Kevin
Moe said it sounded like the Beauty and the Beast, some animal out of the Beauty and the Beast house. Okay, Paul, you're throwing me off. I thought your name was Paul. Now he's saying it's Jeff. So Paul for Panic Games. I think he's making a
I
maybe a tall
think, I
joke.
think that's all I got.
All
I
right.
haven't. I have. Oh, wait a second. Verla's. I might have missed Verla's.
Delete this.
I don't see anybody in here though. Have you added them to the document? Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Okay.
Yeah, they're all in there.
All right. So
And I think
here's A1. I don't know who this is, but hopefully Steve's keeping track of it. Well, I think I figured
we
it out.
can look at them that way.
All right. So take a look, Jeremy. That's the first one.
I mean, that one's small.
Oh no, I like this one though. That does look like Beauty and the Beast a little bit.
I don't know. That's not
All right,
bad.
Chat Krewe, this is B1. We're gonna see some votes coming up.
That's pretty good.
This is C1. Ooh, interesting.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
Oh, I'm liking D1, Jeremy.
Oh,
I'm
no.
liking
Let's
D1.
see it.
Yeah. D1. Let's take a look at it. I'm not sure what E1 was drawing.
Let me see you.
I don't know.
It's a Halloween costume.
Well, based on this, it's somewhat accurate though.
No, I think E1 was drawing me in my costume earlier.
There are lips and there are suction cups.
Oh, I like
That monster looks like he got shot. And it's leaking water.
He's bleeding. He's bleeding it out. All right, so this is F1 here. Interesting. I kind of like this one. This is not bad.
Hey, you know what? That's pretty good.
And that's what we got in there.
All right. So those are your choices. Chat Krewe, hey, Chat Krewe, we need to start voting.
Now we have to see. Do we get to see the comparison though? Too?
Yeah, hold on a second. Roll up. That was pretty close. Second place. Roll it up.
Oh, I like
I think it was.
D1
I
is
think it
pretty.
was.
Oh man.
Steve,
Well,
roll.
first Jeremy and I are going to vote.
But you're the only ones who have seen the actual picture yet. Chat Krewe hasn't seen it yet, so they don't know what to vote on.
Oh, that's true. So we got to show them. That's right.
I'm gonna
All
go
right.
with not that guy, just not that one.
All right, here we go. Chat Krewe, start voting. Who's the closest to this?
Oh, you got a glare. There you go.
How about now? Who is the closest to this? We got A1.
I don't think A1. No A1.
We have B1.
It's pretty decent.
I think that's Lumiere with a fork.
Yeah.
And C1. Interesting.
That's
I
got
think
the
that's
right number of arms.
C1 is the whopping tree from Harry Potter, I think.
Yeah. Or Poltergeist tree.
D1. Juicy. E1.
You know what?
E1
I appreciate your journey.
E1 also played. E1 also played.
That looked like it stepped out of
It's E. I do like E. It's pretty
F1,
close.
and that is it.
That's the ones.
All right, so Jeremy, you're gonna go first. Vote first. What are you going with?
I'm gonna go with D is pretty close. I think B is
B. I'm going B1. You're going B1.
that one right there. Actually,
So
no,
Steve,
I like Forkhead. I like Forkhead, and I like Forkhead, and I like the last one because the last one is like pretty much dead accurate on the.
It has a good look for the side arms. But
All
there was
right,
only one that had the right number of arms though too. It was actually the Cosmic Frog looking.
Yeah, no, the Cosmic Frog there had the right arms.
I'm going D1.
You're
I'm
on D1. Slide down to D1. Can you convert me? Let's see it.
Yeah.
Steve, can you slide down to D1 and see? Maybe I am. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with the you know what? I'm gonna go with the D. I think D
This
D
one?
is right. Yeah, I think D is good. It's got the shower arms.
All right,
That's what I said.
We're both going with D1.
D1.
That's pretty close.
That's pretty close.
Yeah. All right. So
They don't know it's a monster game, so yeah. Okay, I'm going with that.
who was D1, Steve?
You'll have to go back and claim it because I don't have the names on them. D1 was.
D1.
Got to go back and look now. Hold on a second. If you were D1, speak up for yourself.
Yeah, I'm telling you, E1. I'm not sure if that's not Kermit.
D1 was the tree with eyes. I think that was Kelly.
D1 is Kelly?
D1, the tree with eyes in the middle of the trunk and the four raining off the sides.
This one right here, D1 with the
That's Evan.
Oh no, D1. My bad.
Yeah, this one
it's
shows
Evan.
Looks like Evan.
All right. So Evan's got 2 points, and then I'm not sure how the chat crew voting. You're gonna have to check that one out.
I don't know. I lost track of everything.
All right. So put Evan down. Evan's got 2 points. Very nice. Very nicely done, Evan. And we're gonna move on to card number 2. And this could be Verla's turn to describe. Verla.
Okay.
All
So
right.
you messed it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the gumbo. Steve, don't take a look at this.
All right. I'm not even on the chat.
All right. Here we go. Jay, you want to turn to describe one?
Me?
All right, Verla, just sent it to you. Hey, this is another the Micho art. Wow.
Ding.
Nice. No, Jay Bell, do you want a chance to describe one at one point or not?
How many more do you want to do?
Just a couple. Yeah, we're just gonna do a couple. So I'm trying to get out of describing them.
Yeah,
All right, let me get a piece of paper. I want to try.
Oh, okay. Well, if Jeremy's gonna draw,
Let's try. Hold on a second.
and then we're gonna let Verla do one, and I'm gonna do one. Yeah, 3 should be enough. What do you think, Steve?
I think you should not talk Jeremy out of picking Forkhead because Forkhead was mine. Is what I thought.
I did not talk him out. I wanted him to vote for Forked Head, man. All right, Verla, that's your 20 seconds.
Okay.
Your 2 minutes starts
You can't play a game without me, man.
now. 2 minutes. Now remember, Jeremy, Jay, Steve, all of you can ask. Oh, dang, Jeremy, Jay, I think I had you on mute. Try now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
We got
Okay,
you.
sorry for that. I had you on mute. Okay, so Jay,
you
Steve,
ready?
Jeremy. Yeah, go ahead. Your 2 minutes starts now. And Verla's going to start describing it. But remember, you can ask questions.
Okay, so we've got a one-eyed, and of course my dog's gonna go nuts now. A one-eyed monster with 4 legs, and his arms are like ears.
How many arms and legs?
4 legs, 2 arms. Arms look like ears. Basically, his whole head is an eyeball, and he's wearing a top hat. I want to say there's like maybe 3 to 4 toes a piece on those feet.
Jay, you got a question? Jeremy, you got a question?
Body.
What does his body look like?
That's what I'm trying to remember all of a sudden.
Evan wants to know, what do the arms look like?
His arms look like ears. Ears, like to hear with.
And what about the body?
Kowalski?
Like, kind of, maybe sort of, except purple. And again, he's wearing a top hat. Maybe more like a bowler hat. Yeah. Very fancy. Very, very fancy. He's a classy monster. So the feet are almost, I guess they're not really webbed, but they kind of make me think of reptiles in a way.
You said 4 that are 4 legs?
4 legs, and his arms are kind of like ears.
Arms are kind of like ears.
Ears, yeah. Like
Okay.
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 Does that change everything?
Yeah, I heard
Are
gear.
we
Oh, okay.
are we talking bow tie classy or like
Bow tie class.
vest and okay?
So like
He's
a
got a
gumbo bread man?
He's got a what?
Gumbo bread man?
A gumbo bread man.
Does he look like that? No?
No.
Is he a one-eyed fancy centaur with scoliosis?
That is exactly it. Thomas wins.
Does he have long
And-
legs or short legs?
He had long legs and short arms.
Oh, jeez. All right.
What about his body?
I'm
That
trying
needed
to
to be
remember his
confirmed
body.
before
All I can
10
think about
seconds.
is his
All
head.
right. Hold on a second. I gotta
I
make
think he kind of had a rotund
5, 4, 2, 1. All right, that's it. We're going to stop here. No more questions. Start throwing yours up. Jeremy, you want to send it to me or you send it to Steve? How you doing that? Yeah, I've got your chat up so I can see it right away. And then I'll save it and I'll throw it in there. All right, so we got that was a good description, Verla. I mean, I'm looking at the picture, so I thought you did pretty good with that one. So
That's what I forgot.
see what the chat crew comes up with.
You failed me, Verla.
Hell. Yeah, I did. I forgot a key
But I still want your vote.
Did you take a picture yet, Jeremy? Not yet.
Yeah, I'm taking one
Oh, I'm telling you, people, this game, MonsDRAWsity, when Eric described it, I got so excited with it. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then we played it. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be so much fun for Christmas. This is going to be so much fun.
Sure
Christmas 2021 cannot come fast enough for me. I'm telling you.
Sure.
Thanks for making me narrate. That was fun. Trying to remember all those things. Now I'm realizing.
Thanks for getting back. And Daryl, keep us posted about Dark Knight Returns. Oh, there we go. All right. So there's Jeremy.
Hey, that's coming, man. Hey, what's going on? Man, get the email going. I got it. Hey.
Daryl, give us a scoop right here on the show, man. Come on. We'll pump it up. All right. So I'm going to drop that there. How do I do this, Steve? I just added the insert.
Just be able to copy image and paste in. What number are you pasting it in as?
Where'd it go? It's huge, Jeremy.
Oh no.
It came out huge. Let me see if I can
That's
lower
perfect.
it.
You should just be able to grab.
I do mine at 1080. I forgot. I should have made it smaller.
Oh, where is it?
You got to be
Where'd it go?
doing it down on the twos.
I don't even see it. Where'd it go?
Chris, you take a picture and you send it to BJ in the chat. In I'm sorry, in
the
BJ
chat.
in the.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I got it. It was up at the top of the. You put them in the twos, you said, right?
I'm putting them in the twos. Yep. So we're up to E2 now. Are you going to put one in there?
Yep.
And I think I've got room for one more. Oh no, I'm going to need to have two extra.
All right, I just put one in there for you. All right, Chat Krewe, we got some fun ones for you to look at. I'm trying to make it small. Did you send it to me like sideways?
Yeah, it came out the way it came out.
Oh, okay.
Don't judge me. The guy's partying. He's partying.
One more to give here. Hold on a second.
Partying too. All
Do you know how to turn that image there, Steve? Yeah, we have to just leave it like this, huh?
Yeah, might.
All right.
Hold on. There's one more to drop in, I think.
All right, Chat Krewe, let's start looking at the ones while he's doing it. All right.
Chris cannot enter. Do not let him enter.
All right. So now this is not exactly how MonsDRAWsity plays because we're kind of changing it up a little bit here.
Okay,
We got
that's
it
what's
in
in there, I think. I think I got it right.
Wait, Chris Strange said he sent you one.
He did send it. I think he probably sent it there.
Did you see Chris Strange?
Talking to me?
Yeah, Steve, did you see it?
I don't have anything.
Good.
Oh, I just got it. Hold on, let me throw one in there then.
Uh-oh.
One more here. All right, Chris Strange. Let's see how he did. Can you make me one more there for?
Sure.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. All right. Did that work? Or is
That's mine.
that's yours again? Dang
Yep.
it. All right, let me go back to Chris's. And you're saying I can just copy it?
You should just be able to right click on it and copy image.
He sent it right to you.
Yeah, that's where I messed it up the first time. Oh wow, this is ooh.
See?
Ooh.
See?
Ooh.
I told you, man. You should have closed the polls, man.
Did it come? Oh,
Yeah,
no,
it's not even fair.
Hey, Chat Krewe, thanks for experimenting with us tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks on this.
But you know what? This is fun. The final result is always good because this game is so silly. It's
not
so
bad.
silly.
This is pretty good,
It's
Chat
worth
Krewe. All right, Chat Krewe, let's
worth the
roll
wait.
through
Yeah,
these.
it's totally worth the wait.
Okay, so we're gonna show the picture, right? So we're, like I said, Eric Slauson, don't kill us. We're modifying the game for all these different people to get everybody in.
I know.
We're gonna show the picture, and then people are gonna vote to see. Because normally, what you do is you vote to see who you think
Like, who you think? Yeah.
came closest to the description. But we're trying to cut to the chase a little bit since we're limited on time. So I'm gonna show you the picture. Again, this is some art from the Meat Show, and that's pretty close to what she described, Jeremy, right?
Okay.
No.
All right. So Jeremy, we got to do some voting here.
No.
Well, no, you can't vote.
That's really good.
That's really good.
Really good.
Okay, so Jeremy cannot vote on this one. It's just me and the chat crew, right?
I think
That's
so.
really good.
Oh no, Verla gets to
Me,
vote.
right?
Verla does
Right,
do,
right.
yeah.
All right, so Verla, you got A2. That's a leader
That's-
for me.
That's
right?
good.
That's really good.
We got Humpty Dumpty, B2.
Oh, that's so comfortable.
We got, wait a minute. That's the same one.
Respectfully, thank you for entering.
Yeah, thank you.
I can't see that one very well.
Yeah, you don't have to see that one very well.
Yeah.
That one's a little faint, but I can see it over here. Oh, what we got here?
That's good.
We got Mike Wazowski.
Pretty eyes. It's got
He's
pretty eyes.
long.
We got Mike Wazowski here.
Ooh.
This game is insane, man.
Oh my
Mike
God.
Wazowski here.
Where's the hat? Missed the hat.
True.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
can you imagine getting about 8 people and it's like 11:30 or 2:30 in the
seriously.
morning, right? At Gen Con.
It's hilarious. This game is hilarious.
All right, so let's go to F2.
Okay.
That is, you got to turn everybody turn your heads up.
Okay. There were some mistakes made there. There was some loose interpretation. I had some scribbles at the end.
I called that
let's move
one ode to my favorite Scotch. That's the one. That's what I call that one.
See,
Oh,
they
that's
had the same. This is the same vision I had.
Mm.
So yeah,
That's pretty good.
that's still pretty good.
Oh man, and that
Wow.
was really
That's
good too.
not bad either.
That's not bad either.
Oh man, there are 3 great contenders here. that,
You're gonna
like,
have to-
really
You're gonna have to pick one.
Oh, that's good. Ooh.
I've got my
By
favorite.
the way, I really hate that you left that cool teeth out. Teeth
I
out.
know. There's so many details in, like trying to grab that.
I needed the teeth in that one. Definitely
it.
needed the teeth in that one.
Yeah.
What you thinking there, Verla? You got to vote.
Go back to the top here so I can see them all.
All right, so let's scroll through them one more time. Chat crew, want to see your votes in there. We got this is A2.
Yeah.
That's definitely the Dumbo ears.
Yeah, A2 is good.
We got B2. A miss and a swing and a miss. C2. Are they the same? B2 and C2? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
D2
A2
a little bit faint.
Yeah. D2 looks a little gassy. That's about it.
D2 also played.
There we go.
Just looks a little
Dan's
gassy.
favorite thing also played.
By the way,
E2.
this monster looks like it's snapping its fingers, whatever it is. It's snapping its
It's dancing.
fingers.
Jay, it's dancing. Jay, what do you think, man?
Oh, for sure.
F2 is sideways. Everybody look
Right.
at what? Yep.
Okay.
Interesting.
We can move forward.
F2 is not that bad. You missed the neck though, Jeremy. You missed the
She
neck.
didn't say anything about
I
the
know. I didn't describe the neck.
G2, the
She's
duck
pretty
with the
good.
top hat. Or platypus, maybe? Platypus?
Maybe.
That's funny. That's actually funny. That's good.
Man, look at that.
Okay, bonus points for the tie too, by the way. The little bow tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even necessary, but necessary.
So everybody's going A2. Is Verla going to go A2? Verla, what you got?
Man, the first and the last are so
Yeah, no,
close.
first and last are
Can I go
good.
back? That's the first.
That's A2.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the last one.
I'm going with A2, and I think you're going with H2. So tell us who drew A2 and H2. Was it Jeremy Howard?
No, it was not. But I believe that A2 was Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, way to go. Nice.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
H2 was the one that you put in last, wasn't it, BJ?
That was Christian
That's
Strain.
Christian.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see?
Chris knocked it out the park. One more.
That's a
That
good drawing, by the way.
that was
That's
really good.
Yeah.
Sounds
Jay's
good.
got a point and Christian Strain's got a point. That was
And,
really,
and
that was really
chat
sweet.
seemed to be saying A2 though. Also,
Yeah.
Is there a chat point? Because I don't think we gave a chat point for the first one.
Man, I'm getting a lot of H2s. No, you're right. There's more A2s. So yeah, we'll get the chat. The chat's going to get Jay a point. So I think
All right.
that one. Last one, and this is for everybody to draw. So Verla, Steve, Jeremy, I'm gonna try to do one. Let's see.
Okay, hold on a second here. I just need to add Jay has 2 more and Christian gets 1.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Are you set? Last one of the night, and then we're calling a night.
Okay.
I think I've got everybody listed in there. Oh, you know what? I missed Kelly. Let me throw that in there too. Yep. I think I've got everybody that's entered. Seen a lot of entries though. Giggles. Oh, I missed that one. Yep. Welcome aboard. Giggles is from YouTube. Nice. Got Kevin Moe. Yeah, got those. I got Paul in there. Yep, got Paul. Paul Jeff Punick from Panic Games. Got Patricia. I got Fiona. Yep. Got Evan. Got it.
That's a lot
Looks
of
like
comments.
everybody. All right. Are we ready? Haven't seen this one. There's There's a ton of cards here, Jeremy. Plus, there's an expansion with even more cute creatures. So
you know what? I think we need to give out a bunch of these away. We need to give a bunch of these away, man.
this is nice.
We got to figure it out.
We need to-
All right, here we go. I'm going to take a look. 20 seconds. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
All right.
The next expansion should have a gumbo bread man.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
You already drew Gumbo Bread Man. You did that impression. You just have to put the hood on him.
Jay, out of all the games you saw tonight, which one did you like the most?
Oh my gosh.
Like you're most interested in?
Good question.
Either Nidavellir or because I wrote a bunch down. They're going to my cart. Yeah, either Gods, Love Dinosaurs, or Nidavellir.
Yeah.
Good choices.
All right, are you ready? I've got.
Julie sent me.
It sounds like I heard like 5 games from Jay. Pick one, and he gave out 5 games.
I love you, Julie.
Wait. Jeremy's broken now.
Oh my god!
Get your pins ready. Here we go. I got 2 minutes, and ask questions.
I love this game. I just love this game.
All right, so we're playing MonsDRAWsity with my buddy Jeremy Howard, and the chat crew is going to be helping us out with some guesses. Here's what I saw. I was walking down the street, and I see this thing coming at me. It's got this big giant fish head. Picture Squidward from SpongeBob, but no legs. So Squidward, but instead of having the big normal head, it's like a big fish bowl. And inside the fish bowl was another fish swimming around. All around this alien's head were flowers just flapping and floating around the head. And he had the biggest. You remember like when Squidward really gets mad or tired, the ugly, just wrinkly eyes? This Squidward person just had all kind of just squishy looking eyeballs, just 2 of them. Now, after that, the face was a little hard to pick, but there was lots of droopy stuff coming down from the face. Not really a beard, but sort of like something just kind of floating there. And the weirdest thing, instead of like a mouth, it was almost a snake popping out where the mouth should be, snapping at me, and it just kept going.
What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, it really freaked me out, Jeremy. I slowly backed away. So big fishbowl head with a fish swimming in it, flowers all around the face. The eyes were really droopy. This stuff growing out of the chin, and the snake going.
Where was
Is there a body?
on his chin?
I was right near Rouse's. Is that what you're asking, Verla? I was walking near Rouse's trying to get some
What's
stuff.
the body like?
No, there's no body. It's Squidward with no legs.
Does it have
No
a
legs.
Where was the snake? Was the snake coming out of his mouth? Was the snake his mouth? Is that what you said?
Like 45 degrees to the west of the sun. If you're looking at the sun, it'd be like 45 degrees.
You know what?
Snake was where the chin and mouth would be.
Oh my god!
Okay.
I have no idea what the heck's going on here.
Is there with the fish inside the fishbowl?
There was a fish inside the fishbowl, which kind of makes sense. So the brain, Squidward's brain, had a fish floating in it, and it was see-through. You could actually see it.
I have no idea what the heck this is that I'm doing right now. I have no idea.
This is Squidward's desperate cousin. All right, look, this is it. You're just gonna have to draw. The 2 minutes are up.
It's a beard.
It's like from Pirates of the Caribbean, that crazy fish-looking beard with all the stuff coming down. Like.
Oh.
Okay, now I cheated there because Eric says you can't make descriptions with your fingers, but we're after the 2 minutes anyway. So.
Oh my gosh.
I think I may have scared the children there, Thomas. Sorry about that.
Wow.
Thomas having a flashback? Interesting. And thank you, Dean. Thank you, Dean. I appreciate that.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
He was a mess, Paul. I slowly backed away and said, no, thank you. I'm not interested. I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to get my stuffed chickens at Rouse's, and I just kept walking. All right. So is Christian Stirring playing again? Let's see. I don't know if Christian's still around. Now that he's there. Yes, that's trying to think of Topher, Davy Jones.
Good old Davy Jones.
All right, throw your pictures in there. Let's see what we got here.
I don't know what the heck this is. Jeez.
Throw some pictures in there.
When I look at my picture, I'm just like, are you kidding me, Jeremy? Yeah.
I'm waiting for. Oh, Christian did do it. Let me see. Is that no? That's not Christian. So never mind. I'm not sure if Christian's doing a photo or not. So I'll keep an eye out there, Christian. Let me know in the comments, Christian, if you are doing one. Oh, there's Jeremy's. Okay. So Jeremy, I just got to click. You said just right. Oh, hey, it's right side up this time. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So do I have room for one?
You put one in C there, BJ. I'll do D next.
All right. I added one. Oh, wait, Julie drew. Oh, we're throwing some more in there. Oh, this is nice. And some good ones. Let's see, Jeremy. How do I do that? Let's see. Where's I'm getting all kind of people drawing and sending some. This game is going in the rotation, people.
Yeah, this, this has to go in the rotation. Like this, it has to be in the rotation when it's 11:41 where you're at and people are still playing eagerly.
I know.
You haven't lost anybody in the chat. That just lets you know you got a good game going.
Oh, man, what are we doing here?
Now, while he's gathering this, there's a game that I think people should know about that's really good from last year. I don't even know what year it's from, honestly, at this point. It's a Wonderful World. Have you played that?
My nephews keep wanting me to play it. They say it's got this Seven Wonders style thing. It's like a Seven Wonders killer.
Yeah, but it's got this little scoring kind of mechanism to it where it ends up pretty cool how you build your engine and score off of it. But they have expansions to it now, and they even have a campaign now as well. So I've been digging that one, man. You can play that one solo too, which is great. It's a really good card game.
Yep. Fiona, I'm not
sure. Good things.
Yeah.
I think I've put in all that I can find.
Did you get one from Fiona? Because I'm not getting it from Fiona. She says she sent us one and I don't see it. So
no.
What happened to Jay there? There we go. We lost Jay there for a second. All right.
There's Jay.
Yeah. All right, Jay.
Well, it's good seeing you for a second, Jay.
Yep. Fiona, I just don't see it. Sorry about that. It's not. I'm not sure if we're not connected. It's noon over where she is. So.
Well, she's probably over in Australia by Dyson and Joel over there.
All right. So let's see. We're in the threes, right?
I think. Yep. Yeah. This is the third one. Okay. I think I've got all the ones from the Gateway group.
Yeah, just trying to make them smaller so we can fit everybody on the screen there. That's the part of this game. If we can get this part smooth, we can make it even better.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be good. A way for everybody to do it. You know.
I got you.
Everybody in the Discord and they're drawing.
What the heck is this?
I like this one.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Early leader. It's
gonna be great. This is like, dude, who drew this? Are you kidding me?
I'm just giving you sneak peeks on these. The chat crew hasn't even seen it yet.
Oh my gosh.
Chat crew, some of these are really good, man.
Really good. Oh my God.
All right. We got a ton of them. All right.
So good.
Let me throw this back up into the chat crew and let them start seeing.
They're
okay.
So good.
Again, chat crew, don't forget that we've changed the rules to this game a little bit because normally we wouldn't do it this way. We're just doing it for time purposes. Let's go back up to A. Here is, I think we've got everybody in there.
But we need to see the actual picture, though, too.
Yep, here's the picture. All right, ready. This is another one from the Micho. Okay, we got them all. What do you think?
Bring that one big. Can you bring it big so we can see it? Oh, there you go. Oh,
wow. Okay.
All right.
Wow.
Was that close?
Okay, but that was tough. It was tough.
I get what you're saying.
No, it was tough. I would have went for more Brainiac there, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at A3 right now. Can chat crew see that? Yeah.
Mars attacks look, sleepy.
Yeah.
Mars attacks look.
See, and I didn't know which SpongeBob character you were referring to. So
Oh no!
Oh, you know Squidward?
I never really watched SpongeBob. I know the theme song.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
now that I see that, I'm like, oh, that kind of rings a bell from.
Totally from
Hey,
SpongeBob.
hey, did you play this game?
Yeah, I actually have. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good. This will be a good one for. Well, I don't know if we could play it on here, but like this would be a really good game. This
You know what? We need to try this one on the show. Master War would be fun on the show. That is actually a good one. All right, so this is B3. Let's go to C3.
Oh, that's a fetus.
C3. Yep.
That's
I thought it was a. That's not legs, Jay. It looks more like a. It looks more like a.
First of all, I think I'm actually pretty close to what's going on here. So, I kind of wait. What's the script on there?
Move eyes down here. Okay.
Eyes down here.
apparently, my description changed in the middle of it. Yeah. E3. Ooh. They didn't get the top right though. Everything else I like about this one.
I do like it. I just like it overall.
Well,
Yeah.
they're missing the fish swimming around in the globe though. But I like this one though. That wasn't bad. He said a fish in the bowl. There's definitely a fish in this bowl.
Come on. Are you kidding me? Is this Chris?
Wow, this is I'm not sure. I don't remember which one's which, but this one's good. This is really good. It's not the drawing, but it's pretty good. Oh, what do we think here?
That's pretty close.
I like this one.
It's not better than mine, but it's pretty close.
We don't have a letter on that one. Is that going to be G3, I guess? Yeah, we're going to make that one G3, okay, Steve? Let me see.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's funny. What is that? Scrubble Bubbles? What is that? Yeah, that's
Scrubbing Bubbles.
Scrubbing Bubbles.
All right, so this one's going to be G3 right here. Little notebook one.
You're right.
I like that one. This one's interesting. Yeah. The flower. They got the flowers right. See the little flowers around the head?
Scrubbing Bubbles. Man.
Yep. And the last one. I love the fish. That's my kind of fish. That's the kind of fish I would draw right here. Yeah.
That's good too.
Yeah.
That's good too. There's
all right.
Here,
Chat Krewe, start voting. I think I have an idea in mind, though. I have an idea in mind. Anybody? What are y'all thinking? I want to. You guys can try to convince me which one. Jeremy,
I'm going to go with this one there. Oh, no, that one.
let me go back to the top there.
Okay, go to the top.
If you see something that you like, Verla or Jay or Steve or Jeremy, throw it out.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with. That's pretty good though.
That is pretty good.
C3 is good.
This is C3 right here.
That's C3.
Yeah.
Okay, B3, I think. That's what we're referring to.
B3.
Dean says F3 is really well done, but he likes G3 the best. This is E3. Yeah. I would have liked this one, except no fishbowl. I really like this one.
That's a fishbowl. What are you talking about?
It's totally a fishbowl.
It's totally a fishbowl.
It's an elephant teapot.
It doesn't have the fishbowl in the head, though, with the fish swimming in it, you know?
No,
You said the fishbowl was the head.
You also have to base this off what you gave us to work with.
Yeah.
But I know, but I knew what I was thinking.
Accurate. You have to go with like, hey, nice try, based on what I gave this. You know, like.
But I had like a middle picture in my mind.
Give it to me.
I do like this one. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got the angry eyes, and I said sleepy.
Yeah, angry more than sleepy. That's true.
G3.
I like this.
That's the right idea for the eyes.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I think that's the one.
I did good on the eyes.
Especially based on what? Let me see this one, the small one. I don't know. Is it throwing up? Is the bowl throwing up?
The bowl broke. The bowl
broke.
Yeah.
It's got a snake coming out, going to the west.
This ooze coming out of there? What
the bowl broke, and the green water is leaking out.
Everyone respect everyone's journey. Respect everyone's journey.
I think everybody did fantastic with these.
But
I would
everyone
say that I'm right about this.
west.
I don't know what kind of fish BJ's been eating, but that's not a fish. I'm not sure. You know, it doesn't look like the Stitch. It's almost like a Stitch character.
Yes.
Chris, this could actually be somebody from your game from Asking for Troubles almost.
It's
Man.
got an umbilical cord, BJ. That's not a fish.
I didn't remember that part. All right, so we're getting lots of votes for B3, F3, and G3. Steve, I'm gonna go with G3. I think G3 is the one I like. The only thing that I don't like about G3, it's missing the snake, but the other one is missing the fishbowl to me. So I'm gonna go with G3.
Okay. I don't know who G3 was.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Somebody let us know who's this picture. Who drew this picture? I am not sure who drew it. Jay, you? No? Is Jay muted again?
I can hear him very quietly.
Yeah, Jay, we don't. Barely. Yeah.
Yeah, who's G3? Let us know.
How is the Snake Crew misleading? Look at this thing. Look what's coming out of it. Can anybody see that?
No.
Look.
Where?
It is fish.
That tiny little blue.
Yep. The snake
The
coming
thing,
right
the,
out
thing
of
that's, the thing that's going south rather than west?
Okay, that was some shit.
Okay, that's
Oh,
Kelly.
okay. That's Kelly's?
That's
Well,
Kelly.
congratulations, Kelly. Mm,
There you go.
she's got it.
Congrats.
Nice.
All right.
And does
I
she
need-
get the chat's response too, I think?
Yeah.
chat voting?
G3 was definitely the leader. Well, I see a lot
right.
of B3s too, though. We got a lot of votes there, man.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna roll to see who's the big winner on this thing. I'm gonna roll for the column first, there, Jeremy, and then I'll roll within it because it looks like I got about 18 on there. So I'll roll first one here. It is from column. It's from column 1. Okay, and let's see. Out of that'll be one of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. It's either gonna be Dean, Jen, Fiona, Evan, or Nick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll have to roll again. And it is Jen. Jen, congratulations. You are the big winner. Some stickers from our friends at Weird Giraffe and Galactic Raptor. The Silver Coin game.
Nice.
The exit the game, Sunken Treasure. And 2 games from Steve Jackson Games. So Raid on Iran and Undead. Some republished games. So
Well
Jen,
done,
get in touch
Jen.
with us. Send us a message with your address, and we will get it out to you. And that was MonsDRAWsity from Deepwater Games and designer Eric Slauson. What a
Three artists got points on that one. Jay, Kelly, and Evan.
Good job,
Jake,
everyone.
Kelly and Evan. So who was the big winner
Chris,
tonight?
they were tied at 2, each of them. Chris had 1 point in there, but it was tied for 3 of them with getting multiple points.
Hey, if you look at my 2 drawings, they almost look exactly the same. I was like, I was sitting to Julie, I'm like, mine almost look the same.
Steve, is this your drawing right here?
Eyes.
No.
What was that?
No,
One
mine
had
was,
eyes.
mine was B3 on that one.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah, Jen, just send me an email at boardgamegumbo@gmail.com. Just send me an email, boardgamegumbo@gmail.com. That's all you have to do. Or send me a Facebook message, BJ Rosa, or through the Board Game Gumbo page. I'm not sure why I wasn't not getting Fiona's. But that is MonsDRAWsity. Oh, what a fun game.
That was great.
Good one.
Guys, that was so great that we had the chance to play that
It's
one
going to be
again.
awesome to
Such a
play
fun
it at a convention, though. I can't wait for
Mhm. Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
at a convention.
that. Is going to be a lot of fun. All right.
People would eat that up too. Yeah, eat it up.
Woo! Oh, that was fun. All right. So do we have a winner on the artist side?
It was tied. It was tied for 3 different ones. There was agreement, and each time the people picking and the chat picking seemed to be on the same side. So Jay and Evan and Kelly each claimed one of the wins.
Julie said, that was mine. Stop picking on our drawing, Jeremy. I liked it, Julie. It's just, it was missing the fishbowl on top of the head. I really wanted the fish one. Yeah. Yep. Paul, you got to check that out. It's MonsDRAWsity from Deepwater Games. They do have a tiny little box expansion, tons of cards. The game takes 2 minutes to teach. It's not exactly what we played it. We kind of tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah,
so
we tweaked it. It's tweaked.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's still that. It's that.
yeah, exactly, Christian. We're going to meet up at BGG Con 2021. We're going to get a big group. I wonder, Jeremy, how many people we could play. We could play a lot, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to say you can get a good 8 to 10 people.
Oh, I bet.
You know, like around a table, trying to get as many people as possible. You know,
This would be a blast.
Yeah, you know,
That'd be awesome.
you know, get some people who are going to be real honest after a couple drinks. You know,
End of the night, couple of root beers, and then see what happens around midnight. What kind of drawings come
to
out.
judge you. So here we go. You know?
Yeah, that was fun. All right, that was our game time presented by Board Game Gumbo's Blu-ray deck. Check that out on thegamecrafter.com. You can check that out. It's our first ever Gumbo merchandise. Our Game Crafter link to get your own copy of Board Game Gumbo Blu-ray. I want to thank Jeremy Howard for coming back on the show, man. You bookend an amazing year for the Gumbo.
Gosh,
132 episodes. I can't even believe that by now, Jeremy.
I know. Can I at least promo something here?
Oh yeah, hit us up.
So next week we have on Man vs. Meeple, we have our top 10s. We're gonna have our top 10 for our game of the year and stuff like that on Monday. I believe it's at 7. But on the next day, I'm going to have my first top 10 for solo games the day after on Tuesday, the 29th. So 28th on Monday, we're gonna have our top 10. Tuesday, the 29th, we're going to have solo. So if you're a solo gamer, and honestly, I'll be talking about a little bit of both depending on the game, definitely come check it out. We're going to have some other content creators, Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire. We're going to have Mark Dainty from Neverboard Gaming, and also Mike Kelly from One Stop Co-op Shop. So we will have 4 square of other content creators, not on the channel, coming together, combining our forces to talk about.
Give out the details. When's it coming up?
That one is on Tuesday, the 29th. And then our MVM top 10 is on the 28th, the day before.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I'm really excited, man. This is the first time I'm doing this. So people want to know what's up. I'm going to say what's up. Trust me.
Nice.
We're going to be there to support you. All right. So I'm going to, Verla, I'm going to send you and Steve down. Hey, man, by the way, while you two are on here, thank you for all the help in this past season. You two knocked it out of the park. Jay came in to fill in. Alex came in to fill in sometimes. But really, the backbone is Verla and Steve, the name father and the Gumbo overlord, Jeremy.
I love that, the Gumbo overlord.
Gumbo overlord. So I'll talk to you guys.
From ambassador to overlord.
That's right.
She used to be the board game ambassador, but now she's well, on this show, she's the Gumbo overlord. But out there in Instagram land, she is board game ambassador. So check that out. All right. So I'll send you two to the green room. See y'all soon.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. It's since the beginning, as we always say every year, man. It's been since the beginning. And thank you so much for having me, man. It's always been a pleasure to be here. I love that you invite me. You know, you come and let me talk about a ton of games, and I'm just glad the response is good. And, I just really, really, really enjoy it. And thank you guys for participating in the chat and hanging out so late at night. I value everybody's time, so thank you so much.
No kidding. This is a long show, and we thank you for all of it. But it's the end of the season, you know, so... And as Evan says, you're the best guest. You're one of the favorite guests of the Gumbo. And I love it whenever I get him. Usually what I do is I post that little picture that says, waiting on Jeremy to come on the show. And then, or you'll send me a message, and then I know, all right, Jeremy's got a big load of games. And you know, Chat Krewe, we didn't even get to all of them. We still had more games to talk about.
Did I get to all of them? Did not get to all of them.
But again, check him out on Man vs. Meeple Solo Sundays, and then your big top 10. Don't
get me wrong. The stuff that you don't see, it will probably pop up on this top 10 list. A lot of these games I kind of had in the mix for top 10. I mean, we talked about a lot of it. We didn't talk about Beyond the Sun. People know about that one. The unmatched titles, Bonfire, we didn't talk about. Super Fantasy Must Run. There's a lot of games on here. Don't trust me. There's a lot of good games this year that came out. So,
yeah. Well, that was awesome. Yeah, all right. Make sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/BoardGameGumbo, and our YouTube channel. It helps us to get all the word out. Hey, if they subscribe to YouTube or Facebook, they're going to see the messages whenever Jeremy's coming back on. Happy holidays to everybody out there. We're off until the first week of January. No show next week. I'm BJ from Board Game Gumbo. And until next time, Jeremy Howard, laissez le bon temps rouler.